Hello YouTube and welcome back to The Zone, where today, ladies and gentlemen, have we got a treat in store for each and every one of you. This is going to be the single longest reaction video you will ever see. I can guarantee that because we are taking a look at one of the longest videos we've ever had to do on this channel. It's called Wings of Redemption by Down the Rabbit Hole. Now, as far as introductions are concerned, there is very, very little I know about Wings. Apart from he was so notorious enough to get a 2-hour video made about him. So, this is going to be a long ride. This is going to be a very bumpy ride. So, I think we should just get started, shall we? Now, one other thing I just wanted to point out, and this isn't relevant to Wings himself, but I've had problems in the past where apparently the disk space would run out and anything I'd recorded would have been rendered null and void. I think the threshold is about 55 minutes, but just to make sure I've timed it at 45, so that nothing goes wrong and hopefully everything will go right. So with all that being said and done, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's do this. Wings of Redemption in 3, 2, 1, and...
While many content creators from the early days of YouTube are still active online, there are few with a reputation as mixed as that of Geordie Jordan, better known as Wings of Redemption. Often compared to Darkside Phil, Geordie is still remembered fondly from the days when he was popular enough to launch the careers of other YouTubers.
I have done a video about DSP before, and DSP is, from what I gathered, not a very nice man, and I don't know exactly what whether or not Wings or Jordan is going to be like, but let's take a look. Let's just see what it's like.
Simply by exposing them to his audience. Nowadays, however, searching for him online will reveal numerous videos compiling clips of him streaming on Twitch.tv, showcasing moments of rage and frustration, as well as online harassment targeted towards him. What's remarkable about these compilation videos is just how much attention they receive, sometimes over 50,000 views in less than a week, and with enough time, they will often accumulate view counts in the hundreds of thousands.
3 push-ups for $3,000. Jesus.
While one has reached 1.4 million.
Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not...
Similarly, some of the channels that compose these compilations have thousands of subscribers, with the most popular, Sean Ranklin, boasting almost 50,000. And while Geordie seems to have once had friends willing to support him, they now deride him with much the same glee and enthusiasm as those looking to harass him.
And Wings just got confused and shaved his whole head and beard with a razor. And now he looks like a milk dud. Now he looks like a thumb. He looks awful.
So who is Wings of Redemption, and how did he go from being one of YouTube's most popular creators to the subject of widespread and perpetual ridicule? In the late 2000s, only a few years after YouTube was made available, a new kind of video content was gaining popularity, known as Call of Duty commentary, which would chiefly consist of footage captured from the eponymous game and similar first-person shooter titles. The commentary in these videos would often be related to the gameplay, but other times the videos served as a vehicle for musings by the creator on any variety of topics. Among these early creators were names still active today at varying levels of popularity, such as CNanners, Hutch, Tabes, and Dr. Disrespect, who utilized the format to increase their initial popularity. Of this group, however, there was one in particular that stood out, a man named Geordie Jordan, going by Wings of Redemption, or simply Wings. He took to the style of video quickly. 2 weeks after a test upload of himself playing Call of Duty World at War with no voice track, he released his first commentary video on October 24th, 2009.
Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, hi again. This is my first commentary, and here we go. I was going to do a shotgun vid I recorded today, but well...
Though he had little trouble talking for long periods during the 10-minute runtime, he apologized both during his commentary and in the description for various things, including long pauses and his choice of subject matter. Even so, he found...
The thing about the pauses is that, look, when you're just starting out, you're going to have difficulty trying to fill in the time, and I understand that there's a certain need to fill up the time with as much as possible, but you just need to relax. That's what you need to do, and this is something that I tried to come to terms with in my earlier videos, so I can understand why he's feeling a little bit nervous about this.
Himself comfortable creating videos, and soon he was steadily producing new content, including commentary videos as well as shorter videos, highlighting impressive feats he accomplished in the game.
Wow.
Though his opinions were strong, he was still viewed as maintaining an affable and relatable personality. Perhaps interested in maintaining an air of authenticity, he would continue to record his commentary as a single take, restarting the recording if he was not satisfied but willing to accept minor errors.
Oh, man. It's late, I'm tired, and I'm ready to get this over with. This is take 3 on the commentary on this because I've been having a brain fart, and I've bitched entirely way too much about quickscoping in my last 2 attempts.
He soon began using a short intro, labeling himself as Intense Camping Productions, a play on the camping strategy common to first-person shooters. During this time, he would engage frequently with his commenters, and even stated that they were having a positive impact on him.
And before I go on with that, let me just say I want to thank all the subscribers for tuning in and watching my videos, and hopefully rating them at some point. But I'm going through a hard time in my life right now. And the moral support you guys are giving me is fantastic. I always said love outweighs the hate, and it's damn true, brother.
While the precise numbers are uncertain, he quickly was receiving thousands of views within the first month, an impressive number both for the time and for such a new channel. His subscriber count also began to grow in tandem. But this attention was both positive and negative. Because his in-game username was visible in his videos, people would message him on his console, wanting to be his friend or asking for game advice. They would even join his games mid-session, and their skill levels would vary widely, which could influence his ratio of wins to losses, which he felt important. However, it was the comments in his videos that would prove the more emotionally taxing. The Call of Duty community is well known for decrying certain playstyles as illegitimate or lesser, and among these is the aforementioned camping strategy, wherein a player chooses a single location and waits for opponents to approach. This more methodical method of play was Jordy's favored tactic, and one that he...
It's really just like the one that guarantees more victory. It's pretty much the strategy you use if you care about victory above anything else. But the problem is that it's not exactly the most interesting unless, of course, you're switching it up regularly. Sometimes, if you literally just want to, like, make a video where you just want to, like, talk, you can have, like, camping strategies, so you don't need to worry and, like, focus and do... Because it's hard to, like, talk about commentary and also just run through trying to make sure you don't get, you know, quick headshot or something like that. If it's relevant to what he's trying to do or trying to accomplish, then that's... I don't have a problem with that. Mind you, this is Call of Duty we're talking about, and I've heard some very bad things about its fans, so yeah.
He was unashamed of using, though he was clearly self-conscious of it to the point that he felt the need to defend himself over its use in his very first commentary video.
This bitching. I mean, I just wanted to get this off my chest because some people think I'm a camper, which I am a camper. I ain't gonna lie to you. I camp to fucking win. If it requires me to camp to get the upper hand on you, I will camp.
But this did little to dissuade criticism. While viewers agreed that Jordy routinely displayed high-level gameplay, his usage of the strategy invoked occasional ire in the comment sections. This quickly wore at Jordy's patience, and he would soon begin to respond to these commenters. On November 23rd, less than a month after his first commentary upload, he created a video titled Point of Address, in which he discussed the multiple issues he had begun to face.
If I'm playing in a game I don't want y'all to come in and try to join the game, because what happens is you actually use my tips against me. I mean, I don't want to have to try hard every game I play.
Well, if you're not trying hard, Wings, you're not gonna learn anything very quick. You gotta learn to adapt. These sort of things are you just gotta learn to get used to these sort of things if you want to increase your fan base in that, because otherwise things are gonna grow stale, and the only people you'll get at all are the people who are gonna criticize and ridicule you. That's sadly how it is.
Oh, and don't ask me what my penis size is and stuff.
Yeah, also that's a pretty dumb thing to say anyway, so I could get his point behind that.
Serious questions. I mean, I'll seriously thumb down anybody who just messes around and wants to know, do I put my finger up my dog's butt or something like that. Yeah, come on, guys, be serious.
Later that same day, he released another video sharing a bit more about himself and his living situation, asking for donations towards an Xbox 360 so he could play with viewers.
First and foremost, a lot of people have asked me, am I going to ever invest in an Xbox? I wouldn't mind getting an Xbox, but I'm currently unemployed at the time. I got laid off from my job October 14th. And I'm currently on unemployment. So that means I cannot splurge whatsoever, because I went from making $1,000 a week to $350. But there is another alternative. If 500 of you donate $1, I would be able to get an Xbox 360, Modern Warfare 2, a year's worth of Xbox Live, and the cables for the HD PVR. And I could play with the Xbox people. Let me stress this, you do not have to give me money.
However, he also began feeling a need for his videos to perform well, and he noted what he perceived as the low number of ratings he was receiving in relation to his view counts.
My videos get around 2,000 views now, and they're still only getting 200 ratings. I spent a lot of time in these videos, and if you could just click any of the stars, I don't care if
You know what? I strongly suspect there would be people down in the comments that would be giving Jordan some actually very useful and very, very simple sort of like advice if he wants more ratings. But it's the problem you have, and I've had this problem, no doubt hundreds of people have had this while doing YouTube, is that the first few videos you put out, they do okay, but eventually you sort of feel as if, like, with the amount of time you're putting into these videos and what you're saying and what you're talking about, you sort of want more. You want like the rate of growth to not go like this. You want it to grow almost like that. And it can be really disparaging. I know, I've been there myself, and I think it's terrible when, things don't work out as well as you wish they hoped. But the point of the matter is that you keep trying, or you do something different, or you just quit altogether and go look for work or something like that, or try something completely different somewhere else. Jordan has to be prepared to make sure that if things go wrong, he's going to have to accept, that things have to change. Mainly Jordan. He's the one who needs to change.
if you want a 1-star, put a lot of time into them. Could you please just help me out, and when you watch the videos, put a rating on it, because I put a lot of videos out. I'm not like other commentators that put one video out a week where they have time to go back and do the animations and all this thing. I forget to do a lot of that mess because I just put videos out in bulk. I usually put like I've been putting.
Within the first 2 months, Jordy had gained a reputation for speaking whatever came to his mind, but this propensity pulled him into controversy almost immediately.
Uh-oh.
In a now deleted video, Jordy decried those who practiced a technique called quickscoping, arguing that it was too unrealistic to be legitimate. In particular, he attacked another Call of Duty commentator who went by Hutch, who had a significantly larger viewer base at the time. These comments, perhaps unsurprisingly, drew ire from Hutch's viewers. Rather than allow the feud to continue, the two of them decided to hold what they called a friendly debate, in which the two of them would discuss their particular grievances with the other, chiefly their playstyles, and record it. This recording was later released as a commentary video on December 13th, 2009, hosted on Hutch's channel. As he was introducing himself, Jordy revealed a few details about his own life.
Hey, yo, it's your boy, Wings of Redemption.
Wow. That's quite an intro, buddy. Why don't you take it down a notch? Just, take it down maybe another 14 decibels.
Oh, the Ebonics thing is something that my channel came accustomed to. I stopped it at one point, and people requested me to bring it back. It's not how I actually
Where are you
talk.
from that you're speaking Ebonics?
I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I actually grew up in the Holt Garden Project.
You ought to get slapped in the
And,
nuts for speaking Ebonics if you're from North Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Oh, are you white?
Yeah, I'm white.
Oh.
White as it comes. But I did grow up in a black predominant neighborhood, and when I grew up, the kids I hung out with spoke Ebonics.
I guess that
something I picked
qualifies
up.
you to speak Ebonics then, yeah.
The rest of the video stayed mostly civil, with both parties waiting patiently for the other to make their point and speaking with an enthusiastic but restrained candor, even though they couldn't come to a consensus. With the drama successfully diffused, Jordy continued to upload videos to his channel, and he grew rapidly. His propensity for sharing information about his life would increase as well.
All right. Some people requested me to.
Guys, those look like real guns. Not entirely sure if it was like a good idea to show off your arms or something like that, because people will immediately be saying, why not just sell those? Or people might go to the next logical conclusion and say, why not just use those to rob a bank or a shop or something like that? But yeah, I wouldn't, personally speaking, I don't think it would be a good idea to do that. Or to show them on camera at all.
Show some videos of some of my guns. I guess I'll start out with the Call of Duty guns that I own.
He would often use his firearms as filler images when he wished to upload commentary without video content, specifically in his...
And are those rifles real as well? Because they look... I'm not too sure if those things are real, because I'm not entirely sure you would just like have them hanging against a chest of drawers like that. In fact, you know what? I don't think I want to know.
point of address videos, which became regular fixtures of the channel. Around this time, he was beginning to attract the attention not only of viewers, but of other gameplay channels. On January 4th, 2010, he released a dual commentary video with another commentator going by Woody's Gamertag.
Learn a thing or two from Woody Gamertag.
Yeah.
Is that your actual name?
Woody's Gamertag is my actual gamer tag, and I go by Woody, the unexceptional gamer. So
This began a trend of inviting other commentators onto his channel to discuss the game and their opinions on strategy and tactics.
You see, that's actually really cool. It's cool that, you know what, it's something different, and it's getting a bunch of people who are enthusiastic about the game to just talk about the game, which is something that people like. They like doing this, and they like seeing this kind of approach. So, okay, so things are maybe not the greatest as far as, like, maybe Jordan might be concerned, but they're not bad. It's actually not bad.
Also had made a deal with Machinima to produce exclusive gameplay videos for their channel. Perhaps feeling a new phase of his life beginning, he quickly cut ties with a different communal channel, Persona Gaming, and he did so by publicly ridiculing other people on the channel.
They've got 3 or 4 people now that I just don't like. I mean, I don't want to say leeching off of us 3, but
With his viewer base growing, he began showcasing other creators of varying sizes that he enjoyed by hosting their videos on his channel.
Because when Dr. Disrespect is surrounded by enemies, he means one thing, and one thing only.
He would also begin performing product reviews and partnering with other companies, though, like most other creators of the time, his production quality was limited. But his most successful inter-channel venture would begin 6 months after he began uploading. On April 27, 2010, Jordy uploaded the first episode of a new podcast titled Painkiller Already, or PKA, alongside Call of Duty commentators Woody's Gamertag and FPS Russia, also known as FPS Kyle. The format was simple. The three hosts would talk with each other online and record the conversation, speaking with little direction and few notes. Podcasts of this kind were seeing a surge of popularity at the time, and with three relatively large names in the Call of Duty scene participating, along with a weekly upload schedule, it rapidly gained a considerable audience. Because these were made available almost entirely unedited, the production cost was extremely low, and their runtime would last anywhere from 1 hour to over 3 hours, tending to be longer as the series continued. Jordy's subscriber count began growing dramatically as the year continued, to the point that he felt comfortable showing his face.
But at any rate, it's your boy, Wings of Redemption. I'm signing out.
Now that he was partnered with Machinima and he was beginning to see significant amounts of money, his ego was beginning to grow proportionally. This would manifest in frequent comments in his videos, rebuking those who disapproved of his playstyle, and he would even create a video where he again would attempt to legitimize his methods to those who disliked them.
Oh boy.
Ho 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 ho. Time to do some bitching. Alright, recently I put out a video called Flawless on the Invasion. And a lot of people were crying about commentary, a lot of people were crying about camping, a lot of people were crying about the weapon selection, you know. And let me address all this right now. What I did in that video was not camping in the least. I basically held down over half the map. Alright, I held down half the map and I was moving constantly. You do not have to be moving into new areas of the game, of the map, to not be camping. Seriously, even Seed Anner says that mess, you know. I mean, yeah, people will call me a fat nerd for that, but guess what? You'll just get your ass blocked. Straight up. And about people who tries to threaten me with unsubscribing. I don't give a fuck, cunt. I don't give a fuck, kid. Seriously. I will block you out of spirit.
Here's exactly why you don't do this. If you're that concerned about, you know, subscribers and people rating your video, the last thing you want to do is start alienating people, and this is 100% alienation. And people will, you'll just go down immediately. Or the complete opposite that can happen, and people watch you legitimately just to take the piss and to slander you and do all that sort of stuff. It will attract attention, but it will attract the worst kind of attention.
Spite, because I know people that really enjoy my site would be willing to watch my video twice to get rid of your ass. Nobody wants your ass around here. Nobody wants a hater on my channel. I don't want haters. My subscribers don't want haters. If you want to hate, you ain't a subscriber. You blocked. That's what you are. Straight up. Excuse me. I got kind of like a little head cold.
But as his popularity and confidence increased, his patience diminished. He began to upload highlight clips with increasing frequency, showcasing gameplay that frustrated him. This propensity for responding to negative comments became a part of Jordy's online image in the months following his channel's launch, and soon this would attract the attention of a group looking for people specifically like him. At the same time that Call of Duty commentary was gaining popularity, a group called the Federation of Asshole Gamers, or FAG, was organizing and releasing videos. Though they had no set formula for their efforts, it would typically involve a leading member streaming themselves playing a game and either harassing a single person themselves or organizing a group to harass one or more people in the same game with the streamer. Among the most popular within the group was a man named Daniel Keem, better known as DJ Keemstar.
I got a rocket. I got a red rocket.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Say my name. Say my name. Say Keemstar. Say Keemstar. Go girl. Go girl.
At some point in mid-2000,
I've heard some news about Keemstar lately that I don't quite know the full story for, but literally calling your channel fag, even back in 2010, I don't particularly think was a particularly wise move. And I was saying that 10 years down the line, but imagine like in about another 5 years' time, maybe even in about 5 minutes when people find out fag for the name of a channel. I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't meant to be said like that, but you know, that is what it is. So I'm just gonna like say that if I had anything to do with this, I would not be calling it fag. I probably wouldn't really want much to do with this idea anyway. Just 1 second, guys. Right, sorry about that.
2010, another Call of Duty commentator known as That Guy Who Camps approached Keemstar, stating that Jordy had been attacking him, and so the FAG, led by Keemstar, organized a mass false flagging operation on his channel, in which a large number of their viewer base flagged Jordy's channel videos as being inappropriate in order to have it removed from YouTube. In response, Jordy created a video asking people to persuade members of the FAG away from flagging his channel, though his tone sounded more fed up than frustrated.
They're going to be trying to flag and thumbs down my videos, which in result will getting my account banned, and I'll have to go through the long, lengthy process of getting it back. To help protect my channel, if you could go and not subscribe to his live stream, but kind of go in the comment section and persuade people not to do.
I've mentioned this before, but persuading people to harass others is also something you do not really want to do, because this backfires more times than not.
This, I'm not telling you to flag his videos or anything, or his channel, because I'm already got footage of his channel threatening my personal space and my personal use, and I'm gonna try to send that to the administration department over at Blog TV and see if that gets done. But I'm not telling you to take any action. Let me get that point clear. But let's work and try to keep my channel live if possible. Thank you.
This request proved ineffectual, and the FAG was able to successfully abuse YouTube's automated systems, racking up over 30 strikes on his channel. Protected by Machinima, his channel would remain on the site, but Machinima demanded that Jordy resolve the issue, and so he organized a meeting with Keemstar, moderated by another Call of Duty commentator. Jordy at first played innocent, but it soon became clear that he had counterattacked Keemstar with similar vigor by weaponizing his viewer base.
DJ Keemstar, have you ever thought that everything I do is behind the scenes because I'm not doing anything?
I don't know. I don't believe that. I've seen a conversation with you and Tubox on Skype, and again, Tubox
and that conversation was me asking Tubox to talk to you to get you to stop, spamming my channel.
Oh, you're threatening him that you're going to sue us, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're saying jail time, you're saying...
Because he was putting up one of those fronts just like everybody else, and it was more of a scare tactic. But see, that's behind the scenes kind of stuff.
This last round was caused by a comment that Wings wrote. He said, and I believe this is the correct quote, "Nick, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've already killed FAG." I don't understand why you wrote that comment. Because our channel is being under attack, there's false copyright complaints on it to the point that it's suspended until YouTube reviews it, and now we have someone that's taking credit for killing our channel. I don't understand why you wrote that.
You should have seen that was going to come anyway. You attacked a channel that was 4 times your size. I mean...
Well, we have 62,000 subscribers. I believe you have 9.
And I have 100,000 subscribers, and I also have 120,000 podcast viewers that don't even look at YouTube.
Any thoughts on our discussion here, Wings?
Yeah, I'll ceasefire.
But this apparently wasn't justice enough for Jordy. Immediately following the stream, and after asking if they had privacy, Jordy had one last threat to pose to Keemstar, one far beyond what either had levied against one another so far.
Alright, well I got your DJ Keemstar. I've run some stuff by you. Is your P.O. Box 148 Holland, New York 1408?
That's correct. That's correct.
Is your street address York 140809702?
That's incorrect. That's incorrect.
Right.
I don't give my personal where I live at. I don't give that out.
Is your girlfriend named Melissa R. Flack?
Yes, she is.
Is her phone number 716-8263?
Okay. Can I ask you why you're trying to get my personal information?
I'm just trying to see how much of this is correct, because I gave some of this information to Fisticuffs.
You gave my personal information to Fisticuffs?
Yep.
Okay, so should I find out what trailer park you live in and announce that to the world?
I don't live in a trailer park, my man.
Wait, so what was the motivation behind this action?
This is, well, basically, I did some digging, and I tried to find everything I could find out about him in case he actually did drop my YouTube channel.
Alright. Well, this is a good example, though, Wings. Like, I was
going to take a trip up to New York.
This was...
You might be going back looking like a raccoon.
Maybe, none of this would have been necessary. Maybe even if you did it on your own, you didn't need to bring it up now, though. You know what I mean?
I'm just letting him know that. I'm just letting him know it's out there, and that way he won't be surprised.
Do you know how many people threaten me a day? It's like I know that you're a bully and that you get off on bullying people, but like I'm one person that is just gonna constantly have that middle finger in the air. It's never gonna go down. It's always gonna be fuck you. No one is ever gonna fucking talk me into submission or anything. So whatever you're trying to do, just stop now, because the middle finger is right here.
I'm letting you know that
I'm
I did give away some of your
I'm
personal
not
information.
intimidated in any way.
I'm not trying to intimidate you.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Trying to say my girlfriend's name. And trying to say where I live, what my P.O. box is.
Let's not be fucking weird Silence of the Lambs about it, Wings. And,
Hey, I can't help. I'm a precision marksman.
Despite this threat, it appears nothing more came of it. Still, the FAG channel on YouTube would remain permanently offline, while Jordy's would survive with little to no lasting impact. In the year and a half that passed, Jordy would reveal more of himself and his personal life. Of note were the videos of his brother, who had recorded them to send to his family while on deployment in the military, and another of him returning home for a visit. Jordy would become more and more comfortable showing his face as well, which garnered him occasional ridicule over his weight. Over time, he would begin to use his channel for numerous things other than his gaming videos. He continued the practice of allowing other Call of Duty commentators to upload a video onto his channel, perhaps in an effort to help others grow in the same way that he had grown. He would also occasionally make philanthropic videos, such as an instance in which he gave a specialized controller to a paraplegic gamer, or when he began requesting donations for a charity. As Jordy's channel grew, so did his podcast, and he quickly established himself as the central fixture within it, earning a considerable income. Though the numbers are not precisely known, Jordy's financial situation had improved considerably, and according to FPS Kyle, he was making approximately $10,000 a month at this time. Despite this, he still seemed to casually treat his channel as a personal repository. More egregiously, he uploaded another person's video from Twitter onto his channel, under the pretense that he simply wanted to share it.
You might think, man, Wings, you got 1,000 videos of your own. Why would you need to steal? I don't need to steal. The way it is a misunderstanding, and it was blown way out of proportion like everything is with me. That's why I'm always so bitter and always angry at everything. Xbox dance!
By this point, he had also begun dating a woman named Shalene, whom he had met on a dating website. Shalene was already a mother of 2 children before they had...
Are you sure she's not ready to give birth to 3? Because, oh my goodness.
...met, and Jordy quickly took to a parental role. He began providing financially for the 3 of them in every way, as Shalene had no job and seemed to have little desire to get one, instead choosing to rely on Jordy's income as she raised her children.
Leeching. Jordan, I know you probably meant this out of the goodness of your heart, but no. If you're giving her the whole world and she's still unsatisfied, you gotta let her go, man. I just don't think this was the right idea.
It was also around this time that Jordy was beginning to receive more harassment in the comments of his videos, and he was reacting to it more and more. He gained a reputation for being aggressive to his subscribers, something he would attempt to refute.
The thing is, I get criticized and ridiculed all the damn time saying I hate my subscribers. I don't care about my subscribers. I don't care about dumbasses. Look here, if you want to sit here and criticize and belittle me and say I ain't shit or that I'm fat, fuck you. I don't give a shit about your ass. And for the most part, a lot of my subscribers are not up to par. Nobody wants to play with a guy that goes, 14-14. Nobody wants to play with a guy that's a liability on your team. Do you really want to play with a guy going 2-27 and you're dodging air support because of him? No, you don't. I might have anger issues and I might have a little social issues from being always a loner and being overweight and all. And that addresses a lot of the things why I can't be like a Woody's gamer tag and, be like, everything's going to be all right. And, and give that kind of, fatherly like advice. But I am what I am, and that's the only thing I can do. I don't try to stress over things I cannot change.
Though he claimed not to care, he continued to dedicate not only mentions, but entire videos to arguing against these comments. This culminated in a video released on April 10th, 2011, titled, "This is Why I Am Always Hostile," in which members of his team during a game of Call of Duty derided him and shouted his username.
Wings of Redemption!
What the fuck? We lost A. God.
Wings of Yo, it's your boy, Wings of Redemption! Hey, Wings of Redemption, you got any more ice cream, you badass?
This video likely had the unintentional side effect of spurring such harassment, as he was now giving them attention in videos, beginning a cycle of harassment and encouragement. But even as he was losing patience with viewers, he was mending relationships with other creators and building connections. For example, on July 3rd of 2011, he uploaded a video of himself in person with Keemstar. Perhaps more surprising was the fact that they were at the mansion of Alki David, a man who had inherited a net worth of $1.5 billion to compete in Call of Duty for a cash prize. This event was interchangeably called the Battle Cam Bowl and the Billionaire Showdown. Despite these promising prospects, his confrontational attitude would only worsen until it culminated in an event that many considered to be the moment when his career changed completely.
Which we will get to in a few short moments. I've just got to this related to part of the phone call I had to take a few minutes ago, so I'll be back really shortly. I'll just make sure to edit the parts down.
Ooh. On August 25th, 2011, the hosts of the Painkiller Already podcast gathered to record their 67th episode to thousands of viewers live.
Wow.
They had eventually chosen to change their recording methods. Rather than simply recording and then uploading the podcast to hosting sites and YouTube, they would stream their recording sessions to Justin TV with 3 main sections: a pre-show, the podcast itself, and a post-show. While the podcast would only run for approximately an hour and a half, this stream would last for upwards of 3 hours, sandwiching the official part of the podcast with casual conversation. This particular week, their guest was an up-and-coming Call of Duty commentator who went by Syndicate. Syndicate had gained popularity by playing the cooperative game mode in Call of Duty called Nazi Zombies, or simply Zombies, which eschewed human opponents in favor of AI-controlled hordes of enemies. For the majority of the stream, the episode proceeded as normal, with Jordy discussing his newfound fatherhood.
I'm really digging the whole father figure kind of. It's cool seeing, you're doing stuff with them and they're responding to it, and, you're actually getting through to it, and you win those little battles, and those little battles feel like you win wars. It's like you're just getting him to say what he feels, instead of, I don't know, or because.
However, during the post-stream, Jordy began to mention his low opinion of Syndicate's abilities and his chosen play mode, while simultaneously showing his ignorance about it.
If you want to try and get all the zombies, say it's an insta-kill and there's a zombie to your right, you want to make the most of it or something, or is it huge?
I've had this debate with people so often. Let's just go back to multiplayer, so where my experience is at.
But wait, we're not talking about multiplayer, right? I think Syndicate would...
No, there's no difference. What's the difference between a zombie behind you and a guy with a gun behind you? What's the difference?
The difference is if you're facing one way, you're going to turn all the way to turn around to the zombie, and you haven't got quick revival.
I look at it like
you're gonna knife that zombie
if you get yourself in that position, you deserve to die.
Not at all. Because zombies...
As they argued and Jordy continued to profess his skill, Woody had a proposition.
See, I'm just going to say this. You're talking to a guy who's probably 4 times the multiplayer than you are.
Yeah, listen, guys. if this literally was just like friendly banter, then there wouldn't be a problem. But unfortunately, yeah, Geordie doesn't really seem to be the person who takes these things lying down. Unfortunately, so I'm a little bit nervous as to where this is going.
No matter. It doesn't matter. There's no difference.
Okay, I'll do this. You're talking to a guy who's 4 times the zombie player you are.
I bet you right now I could get on zombies and stay toe for toe with Tom and not even know the fucking map.
Let's stream.
You know why?
Oh, let's do it.
Oh yeah, there it is.
You know why I can do this? Because I use my brain. I think, well, where's my back at?
Oh yeah, let's show it.
That's why.
I'm not about to go. I'm not about to get on the play 6 hours.
What? You are not going to play 6 hours anyway.
Soon, Woody and fellow commentator Redneck were teasing and goading Geordie.
You're gonna beat me on zombies because you play on 2 sensitivity, whereas I play on insane.
I'm saying insane does not mean shit.
Syndicate, I'd like to add this to the conversation. I am also much better at zombies than you, but I refuse to play or prove it or stream it or provide any kind of evidence about it because it would take me too long.
I didn't say I was better. I said I'd go toe for toe with him. Like I would kill just as
all
many
right.
zombies
Well then,
as he
I
would.
take it back. Tom, I am just as good as you, but I refuse to play.
It's boring as fuck. Why do you think I
As
don't
they
do
discussed further, Wings continued to describe his superiority in both skill and content creation.
Me, it's just a whole different thing. I try not to be fake, and me not being fake makes a lot of people not like me.
Not being fake.
Not being fake.
So you mean like?
Woody, however, had a retort that revealed quite a bit about Geordie's personality.
Your online personality didn't match your in real life personality.
Shit does.
No, so my experience with, Geordie as opposed to Wings was that in real life you were much more sensitive, much more caring. In real life you were like almost gentle sounds like a put down. It's not what I'm going for. But you were nice to everybody. And there were and I don't mean to none of this is meant to be put down. None of this, but there was like an endearing level of insecurity, right? Whereas like the Wings of Redemption in a lobby is full of bravado. I'm the best player to ever exist. I can beat Syndicate in zombies, right? Like, but the Wings of Redemption that I met in real life in Beverly Hills, like not everything is easy for him. Not everything is so great, and he's caring about other people, and he was true and honest, and he was himself, but. He wasn't, like beat you over the head with self-confidence kind of guy at Beverly Hills.
Would you lick his face?
Well, the one time, yeah.
Soon after, just as they seemed to be forgetting about the challenge Woody had suggested, Geordie went back to bragging, and while Syndicate had initially been humble, he shared his confidence in his ability at previous titles in the series.
I'm not upset about anything, dude.
I gotta take a piss.
I just know what I know what I've been to, and I've played with every single commentator there is to play.
It's because I've got quite a lot of friends who, like in the same frame of mind, and it's like there's no change in it. I know, like most common ones I've played in the most is COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, and I could probably beat you in them too. Well, I'd do it for the fun of it. I'd go for it.
Let's do it.
So what map are we playing? I'll get my ass slapped, I know I will, but I'd still do it.
See, the thing is...
But as Geordie's braggadocious claims reached their height, his anxieties were also revealed.
You know the reason I don't do it? Because if I happen to lose, I hear about it for years.
Exactly. So, like, if you lost against me, would you hear that for years?
Yes,
Probably not, because I wouldn't bring it up again.
No, but everybody in the stream would, and then they would tell somebody else, and then people that don't like me would get to it and start coming to the videos and saying it.
Yeah, but why'd you care?
But I know I'm not going to lose to you.
Due to his console being in a separate room from his PC, Syndicate could listen to the call as the other three discussed, but could not speak for the duration of the game. As Syndicate left to turn on his console, Geordie played a warm-up match. Soon, their duel began. Geordie and Syndicate utilized radically different playstyles. As previously mentioned, Geordie preferred positions that offered control over the map, and once he reached them, he would remain mostly static, exploiting the strength that the location provided. Syndicate, however, preferred a more mobile playstyle, rapidly moving from location to location in order to gain an advantage over his opponent and to make himself difficult to locate and pin. They would play on Bog, a map with a few long sightlines, and they would use M16s, a relatively long range and high damage weapon. These choices clearly favored Jordy's style, but Syndicate acquiesced, perhaps because he was unconcerned with victory and was more interested in sating Jordy's ego. The game would end either after 10 minutes or after one person had scored 30 kills. The map on which they were to play was defined by a single central location, known colloquially as the trash pile, or the hill. This hill not only offers omnidirectional cover for whomever controls it, but its height allows the person to apply pressure across the majority of the map, meaning that many games played on it are focused almost entirely on controlling this position. By the time the match began, approximately 4,000 people had gathered to watch, a considerable number for the time. Jordy spawned on the southern side of the map, while Syndicate spawned in the northeast.
I had this cousin, right, who I think like once or twice he brought his Xbox 360 over, and I remember actually we played a few games of Modern Warfare 2 on it, and some of the levels were, well, I think it was definitely Bog was definitely a level I remember quite well. But it looks like a fun layout, I'm not gonna lie.
Eastern corner. Moving quickly, Jordy discovered Syndicate's position early, and within the first 12 seconds of the game, he had taken the first kill. But already there was a problem. Jordy realized that they had forgotten to turn on the radar, so that neither Jordy nor Syndicate could tell the position of the other player without seeing them or hearing them. This meant that whoever was losing would be forced to play far more aggressively than normal in order to retake the lead before the timer ran out. Jordy noticed this immediately, stating that all he had to do was sit still and listen for Syndicate's footsteps.
You probably should have put radar on, because I can sit there and be a bitch and just sound whore now.
However, due to his slurred speech and poor microphone quality, many people interpreted this statement as insulting Syndicate and acting cocky. Syndicate, undeterred, respawned and immediately took the trash pile, using it to get his first kill. Perhaps looking to test Syndicate's abilities and find his weaknesses, Jordy began experimenting with new tactics, engaging from farther away and attempting to sneak behind him, but Syndicate proved prepared for each instance. Finally, with a bit of luck, Jordy spawned behind Syndicate, dislodging him from the hill. The positions reversed, Jordy had his chance to catch up, soon getting another kill, setting the score at 3-4. But Syndicate had an unforeseen advantage. Though he had never seen Jordy's gameplay, he knew that Jordy favored more passive strategies, and based on this knowledge, he took a gamble. Syndicate threw 2 grenades toward the trash pile. One landed wide, but the other landed directly on top of Jordy, forcing him off of the power position.
Miracle Nade almost hit its target.
Oh my god.
Oh,
He hit the flames.
Miracle Nade.
Too far to reliably retake the hill, Syndicate ran farther west and hunkered down behind cover, and Jordy followed. However, perhaps suspecting such, Syndicate turned and took another kill with a single burst as Jordy ran towards him, with no chance of a rebuttal. Spawning on the other side of him, Jordy attempted to catch Syndicate by surprise, but again, Syndicate was too quick, and a single burst was enough to finish him off. Now with over double Jordy's score, Syndicate was in a comfortable lead, defying the expectations of nearly everybody present. But while the other people in the voice call were laughing and enjoying themselves, Jordy's mood was souring. Having just insulted the ability of his opponent, and with his reputation as one of the most popular Call of Duty players, he felt pressured not only to win, but to do so convincingly. Now that he was losing, his confidence was proving more fragile than his boasts had suggested. Jordy again spawned on the trash pile, taking another kill as Syndicate attempted to reposition, but he was removed from it almost immediately after another engagement.
Good lord.
Syndicate up 8-4.
Despite his lead, Syndicate chose not to remain sedentary, instead moving about the map and searching for the next engagement in adherence to etiquette. By this point, the stream had reached approximately 7,000 viewers. Jordy respawned south of the hill and made a dash for it, but was caught by Syndicate and pinned behind a piece of cover. As Jordy stayed in place, Syndicate moved west and, again predicting Jordy correctly, flanked him and took another kill.
Is he still sitting over there, just crouching?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you where he is. That wouldn't be right.
A minute passed as the two hunted each other. With pressure mounting, Jordy began to accuse Syndicate of misconduct only seconds before the shot of the next engagement began from across the map.
Picking up girls lately.
Look here,
Watching
let
my
me.
videos.
Why don't you go and make a comment that there's not been a shot fired in almost 2 minutes because Syndicate's laying on his belly somewhere?
No, he's not.
After a relatively long fight, Wings took the kill, but he would have to win these fights much faster for a chance at victory. Suspecting that Wings had again taken cover at the hill, Syndicate threw another 2 grenades at the location, but Wings had anticipated this and moved to a different piece of cover farther east. Catching Syndicate unaware, he took yet another kill for himself and finally began to close the gap in score. Slowing down the pace of the match, he again lodged himself into the hill, taking his comfortable defensive posture, knowing that Syndicate wouldn't want to hide and wait out the timer. But in a straightforward duel, Syndicate again proved Jordy's match. It would be nearly another minute before the two saw each other again, and Jordy was losing patience, demanding that Woody tell him Syndicate's location.
Dude, he's just fucking hiding. Look, I'm looking at the fucking map right now. Where's he at?
Oh, I see him. He's not hiding. He's looking for you.
I'm standing out in the fucking open. He can't see this because he's too busy laying on his belly half the time.
That's not true. Like, we can all see what he's doing. He's hunting for you.
Yeah, he's not doing a good job.
With less than 2.5 minutes remaining and a 4-kill lead in Syndicate's favor, Jordy was forced to change tactics. Spotting Syndicate in the south, he threw a single grenade for a kill, but this was followed by a time-consuming duel that saw Syndicate the victor, time that Jordy could no longer afford. Jordy began chasing after Syndicate over and over, desperately trying to close the score, but for each kill that he gained, Syndicate would gain at least one more in return. After a frantic flurry of action that lasted 1.5 minutes, Jordy finally lost the last of his patience as he realized that he could no longer feasibly win.
Commentator showdown goes on. Like, I knew that was a tough lobby to do well in, but I was there.
He just smashed up his controller. I've never... And I've friggin' played Overwatch for nearly 3.5 years now, but I've never ever once smashed a controller, a keyboard. At the worst most I've done in like video game rage is swear loudly and in large abundance. But that was all, you could hear that shit all the way from Beijing at this moment. That was just, wow. You know, again, if Jordy had just like taken this on the chin, you know, apologized how rude he was and just said, Syndicate, congratulations, this could have all been avoided. He said earlier that people would be talking about this for years, and it was because of what Jordy did is what happened. And to be fair, it's a pretty interesting sounding game as to what exactly happened. It's just, you know, it would have been better if this sort of thing had been avoided because of what I'm assuming is going to happen next. Or rather continue, I should say, because I'm pretty sure he's not done with his controller. Oh, the silence.
Wings, are you in the game? Wings, did you spawn in?
I broke my controller.
You broke your controller?
Oh.
Yeah, keep fucking laughing, you fucking faggot.
Oh, Wings, I've been where you are. I know it's
Oh, don't fucking
days.
suck. Fucking faggot.
And I think that's the end of his controller.
Yeah, we've all been there, man.
Fuck you.
Me?
Jesus. Even old PS3 and Xbox. I never even owned an Xbox, but this friggin' feels nostalgic.
Fuck! Why the fuck you stream that shit?
It was your idea.
No, I didn't say stream it.
Oh boy.
I thought it was your idea.
While this loss was unlikely to make a significant impact on Jordy's reputation overall, his
Actually, is it like playing Call of Duty 4 or whatever it's called? Are those for games sort of like fun to play? Because I don't know, they look kind of different, and I was up for like a little bit of a change in the game anyway.
actions soon afterwards would ensure that it would remain one of the most memorable parts of his career. The day after the duel, Syndicate made a post to Twitter. Though the structure of the tweet was a bit confusing, the message was clear. Quote, "See for yourselves. I held respect the loss for Wings yesterday, but after this, no." Attached was a screen capture of a conversation between the two of them. Apparently, Alki David, the billionaire who had hosted the Call of Duty competition the previous month, was offering $5,000 to the winner of a rematch between Jordy and Syndicate. Looking to repair his image, Jordy had approached Syndicate, offering to fix the match so he could guarantee a victory. Quote, "You get $3,000, I get $2,000, but I have to come out on top. Sound like a good deal or want no part of it?" Syndicate flatly refused, offended by the offer. Jordy grew desperate, saying, "I need this kind of money. I don't make $2,000 a day. I got a family to feed, so money is a big deal to me. You said you wanted to bury the hatchet. What better way we both make money? And I beat you by like 1 kill in Game 5. It's a $1,000 to lose a game you're not expected to win. I figured I'd offer it." To which...
Only problem is that Syndicate probably could have won that game again anyway. I mean, he beat Wings once, he could probably do it again.
Syndicate...
Maybe he just needs another Xbox controller.
Replied, "No way, Wings. You just blew it, big style," and ceased communication.
Oh, boy.
Jordy soon created a video discussing his loss to Syndicate and uploaded it on August 26, 2011, titling it, "I'm Only Human," in which he discussed his conduct.
One of my pet peeves is I hate losing.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of people hate losing, Wings, but there are better ways of, handling this than smashing up a controller. There are ways around this. Anger management or, just staying away from the computer for a few days. That's, and not looking at Twitter for at least like a couple of months. Some of the shit you'll find there is absolutely will drive anybody crazy.
Losing with a passion. I hate losing even more when I'm
not mad, straight up crazy.
The only person that has something to lose. And it's something I've been trying to get over all my life. I mean, even when I was a child, I could not stand losing. It feels like I've failed in every form and manner, period, when I lose. I feel like I wasn't good enough to the point where it's like, maybe I shouldn't be playing.
Despite his attempts to address this, his comment sections soon afterwards would be littered with references to the infamous duel, taunting him for his loss. This further fueled his discomfort, and it would manifest as videos talking about himself and his personal problems in vague terms, such as a video published less than a month after the duel titled, "My Weight and Life Problems."
A lot of people get the impression that I'm this asshole person to subscribers and everything else, and all they ever do is they single out the negative. That's kind of what anybody does. It's like a first human nature to kind of single out the negative and everything. Nobody sees the positives that you put out there. Nobody sees how many people that you've actually helped. I mean, I can list. You go on to any other commentators' videos, you won't see even a shrimp of the amount of hate that I get, which I knew going into it with my play style that I would get tons of hate. And since
again, welcome to the Call of Duty world in which the only thing I want to say technically about that is that, well, you know what? Just don't talk about saying you're going to do something different. Actually just get on with it and do something different. Because unless you're actually willing to change, or whether or not just to put this behind you, people won't think you're getting over it, and people will exploit this and make fun of you more and more.
There's been so much stress with sub-box break.
Also, a good thing you might want to do is straight up apologizing for, looking down on your subscribers. That's one of the top things I would focus doing, like apologizing for what you've done.
The view count thing, losing the 1v1, all the haters, all the loss of subs. I've actually gained 20 pounds because all I've been doing is worrying and eating. That had to go along with the new family that I got. It gets really problematic. I mean, it's just all stress. And
again, the thing about your family, Jordan, the one, you dated a woman, you knew she had kids, that if you're going to take responsibility for that, then it's on you, pal. It's not on it. It's not for everyone else, especially for the people who aren't giving you slander.
And then there's other problems in life, like, why is this like this? I try to be a nice person, Why do I constantly get hate? Like people like ignore the haters. No, it's hard to ignore the haters because your natural response to anything is to single out the negative. Oh man, why couldn't that be like COD 4? You know what I'm saying? And if everybody actually wonder where that's from, that's from the Trailer Park Boys. You can check that out on Netflix if you live in the United States.
Alongside his regular YouTube content, he began occasionally live streaming his play sessions in late November of 2011. However, Jordy also began to show some of his negative views of himself.
First off, most of my fan base don't like me anyway. Most people watch me to say what I'm about to say.
Despite this growth, he was losing enthusiasm for his gaming career, something he made unabashedly clear in his videos in early 2012, such as in a video titled, "Why Hide the Truth?"
I do have for you today some stale ass fucking gameplay. That's what I got for you. I got it on lockdown too. And you know why I have stale ass fucking gameplay? Because I hate playing the fucking game. Plain and simple. But you know why I play the fucking game? Because it's the only thing that gets views. That's quite honest. And
alright, well, fair enough. Well, I'll be quite honest as well. If you think that's it, well, you know what, pal, you ought to maybe change your style a little bit. Why are you so certain that these are the only things that gets views? What else has he technically ever... Has he done much else to try and gain views or something like that? Because why not give it a go? You've got nothing to lose, but you've got a lot of things to gain if you're going to branch out and try something different. The point we're trying to tell you, Wings, well, I suppose I'm telling you, is that there are ways around this. He just needs to, swallow his pride and just maybe accept a few things that... Not sit here and wipe his ass. Just he's got to learn that if he's got to be different. It's not the same as when he first started.
A lot of people want to ask you, why don't you get a real job? Real jobs don't pay as well. They don't. I mean, perfectly honest. If a real job was the answer, I would have gotten a real job a year ago.
In March, another significant upheaval occurred in his life.
For those of you who know, I've been dating a girl named Shalene for about a year now, and today I kind of decided for a huge life change. I actually asked her to move out of the house again. I kind of made some bad decisions in my life, and a lot of it was influenced, from her being there and trying to keep her happy. And it's got me in a really bad financial situation, and I needed time to basically get my life back together.
By this point, it appeared that his finances were beginning to struggle as well, stating in a video on March 11th of 2012 that he had, quote, "sold most of my guns over the last year or so to keep afloat." This suggests one or a combination of three potential factors: that he was making less money than he had first shared, that his income had reduced significantly, and that he had spent so much money on Shalene that he had drained much of his finances. Later, he would share that by...
And does she look happy about it? No, she doesn't look like she could care less.
his estimations, he had spent approximately $80,000 on her and her children to care for them and buy them things, including a new truck in which they had eventually...
Exactly, you see here, that's the face, ladies and gentlemen, of somebody who pretty much got $80,000 spent on them, and she does not likely she could care less. She does not look like this it matters.
Left. Perhaps recognizing the popularity of the content that focused more on his own life, this sort of discussion would come to dominate.
What's this fucking thing? Sorry about that, guys. Let me just
dominate his videos more and more, to the point that they came to resemble vlogs more so than Call of Duty commentary.
If you're going to let the opinions of others dictate your life and allow you to basically not do something, like just because you're fat is going to allow you not to travel on a plane, just because you don't think your face looks as pretty as somebody else, you're not going to go to a movie. That's in the same line and ballpark of thinking that you're in by not wanting to date a girl because she's classified as a slut.
One of the topics that he would discuss frequently was his weight, as well as his desire and efforts to reduce it, which included sharing video of himself working out and recording straightforward vlogs about it.
And this is my first trip to Dr. Norman since I got back on the diet. And I went and got the prescription pills again for it. And while I was there, I was weighed, and it bothered me how much I weighed at that point because I kind of realized where I was at. Keep in mind, March-ish of last year, 2011, I was around 368 pounds. So within 1 year, I had put on around 100 pounds.
This pressure would continue to build, and soon it would manifest in a way that would shock his viewership and further alienate him from his contemporaries and his friends. In September of 2012, Jordy entered an argument on social media with another commentator going by El Presador. In a now deleted tweet, Jordy wrote, "I've got a load of guns, El Presador, and if I decide to kill myself, I'm taking you with me." Soon, the Call of Duty commentary community was talking among themselves about Jordy's conduct, but there was at least one person that saw an opportunity. DJ Keemstar had been publishing tweets that he labeled as Drama Alert for some time, cataloging drama occurring online, and here he sought to both capitalize on the recent drama and diffuse it at the same time. Acting quickly, he gathered a number of these commentators for a group call that would be recorded and streamed live on September 23rd. But before El Presador or Jordy could join the call, another commentator who had inserted himself into the situation joined as well, going by White Boy 7th Street, who proceeded to lambaste Jordy for his conduct. He expressed his belief that Jordy had made these comments on Twitter to increase his view count.
Right. He did it for attention. That's what a fucking 13-year-old emo chick does. I care about Wings. I like Wings. I'm sure all the viewers do as well. I can relate to him. I have a personal relationship with him. You know, I can feel him. I can understand him. Mm-hmm. And that's why I got away with so much stuff. But faking it, crying wolf, I lost it. I lost it from him.
Soon after, Duranker had an opportunity to give his perspective.
I respect what Wings does, don't get me wrong. You know, I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying all he ever does is complain.
As soon as Jordy joined the call, he demanded that he be able to speak with the other three who had become involved, White Boy 7th Street, Duranker, and El Presador. Immediately upon Duranker's rejoining, Jordy began insulting him based on his employment, then began proclaiming his superior income.
Go ahead, Wings.
I told you what it is. You're a production supervisor. You walk around with your hands in your pockets. You probably turned a wrench in 8 years, and you want to sit there and talk about gall of working hard. So you have a fucking cake job. Your job is fucking cake. What you do is you hold your hands in your pocket. You wait till the fucking safety meeting in the morning so you can suck up to some fucking big wig's dick. Then you go home and you drink your fucking Miller Lite. What it sounds like you're doing.
No, actually, I'm on my phone. I'm actually at work because I have a job. Anyway.
Actually at work because you have a job. You know what? I did your fucking job for 5 years. And you know what? I make more money now than I did at that job in 1 day of the week than I did.
Wings, and that's what I'm saying. You make a lot of money, but all you do is
But the fact is, the more money you make, the more responsibility you take on. You're also failing to neglect. You're talking about people taking $120 out of their check to feed their family. Look here, son. I have 9 people I support. 9. Not 1, not 2, not 3 children. 9.
Paradoxically, he then began explaining his aversion to manual labor.
That was quite a sudden jump there, that he suddenly said he had like 9 mouths to feed. Not too sure if he really did admit to like having 9 kids or whatever.
No. You're making it seem like I've never worked a real job before. The reason that I have worked a real job is the reason I don't want to work a real job again. It doesn't matter if it's labor or backbreaking work. You know, if I see a person digging a ditch, you know what I don't think? That's a hard worker. I think that's somebody that fucked up in his life.
Right.
Soon, Woody offered insight into Jordy's mentality and even claimed that Jordy was lying.
Wings, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
All right, so when I was watching the Twitter feed unfold, like this is how it played in my own head. I saw, you upset, and I know you, right? You're a guy who thinks a little bit short term. You know, when cash comes in the bank, you feel wealthy. When the bills roll in, you feel broke. When the views are high, you feel, if you have a good day view-wise, you feel like things are awesome. If you have a single bad day view-wise, you worry that the world is crashing. So I watched you on YouTube and I thought, you know what? He's not joking or putting on a suicide hoax. He's just a guy who has extreme feelings and expresses, like, there's no sort of long-term, like moderation filter on there. If I get 700,000 views today and 30,000 views tomorrow, I feel like I got 730,000 views over 2 days. You feel like, oh my gosh, my channel crashed today. You know, the world is ending. And so when I watched your Twitter thing and saw White Boy respond to it, I felt like White Boy was off target because he's like, oh my gosh, this guy faked a hoax. I saw it. I felt like you claimed it was a hoax as a way to change the topic and end the beef.
Wings, it's kind of been you versus the world tonight.
No, it's always me versus the world, dude. It's been like that for the last 3 years of my career. I'm pretty
the world then.
I'm pretty much, Scarface of the YouTube community. I'm the bad guy. I'm the camper. I'm everything that personifies everything bad.
Say that way. You were the Scarface of the YouTube community.
After a bit more arguing, Jordy began to threaten and insult White Boy, while Woody unsuccessfully attempted to defuse the situation.
You're real close to me just telling you what you what you actually make.
That's not anybody's business what people make, though, Wings.
I know what he makes. His contract can't be much different from mine.
But Wings, he's not talking about money, though.
He is. He's calling me a view whore when he said himself I'd get like 1,000 views. But you're fucking dumbass, dude. I don't do that shit for views. If I did that shit for views, I would do it on my fucking YouTube channel. Why don't you take your one-eyed ass and learn fucking something? Quit smoking pot. Quit being a fucking high school dropout.
So I think instead of going after the messenger, we should talk about the messenger. Right?
I'm a fucking person too, and you're sitting there trying to destroy my livelihood by some fucking bullshit, trying to say I did some view whore and shit.
Suicide. Do you not understand the gravity of the situation? You faked the suicide for views. Your fucking raw instinct.
After Jordy returned, the livestream took on a drastically different tone, discussing Jordy and his negative mental health.
It's not a fucking fake suicide. That's what you don't fucking understand. I'm a suicidal fucking person. I don't like my fucking life.
Wings, why do you... Okay, listen, Wings. Sometimes we, as human beings, we just have to look down when things are tough and look at what we have. I know I'm sounding like a Hallmark card
What do I fucking have, Keemstar? I have a fucking night full of drama. I have fucking El Presto trying to get big off me by threatening to put the FBI on me. I have one of the biggest channels in the gaming on YouTube trying to shut me down while I'm having one of the worst months of my fucking life. What do I have?
Wings, think about what you just said. You said that you have El Presador trying to get big off of you. Now, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that?
El Presador's a fucking leech. That's
No, but what I'm saying is, if El Presador is really just trying to get big off you, that is an awesome thing. That's a compliment.
It's not an awesome thing. It hits you all at once, dude. Have you ever... Well, you probably have.
You gotta look at it glass half full, glass half empty. You have so much, and people in this community, look up to you. All right? They do. They do. People in the community actually look up to Wings. Wings has been around for forever. And as much as people battle with you, people do respect you. And admire you. Look at how many people tune into PKA. No offense to Woody, but if you were out of it, it'd be probably like half the people there. What do you think is the biggest thing, Wings, that's missing out of your life right now? What is the root thing that's making you this depressed, I guess? I mean, is there something really missing? Because people look at you from the outside and say, that guy's got a lot,
I don't know. I honestly can't answer that question.
Are you missing the girlfriend? I mean, I know money became a situation, but are you missing that companionship?
No, dude. I've had other girlfriends since Celine. I mean, I can't honestly answer that. I mean, I just don't feel fulfilled. I feel like I'm going nowhere.
About an hour into the livestream, however, the tone shifted dramatically again as El Presador joined by calling Keemstar on the telephone. Though it was often difficult to understand him, it was clear that El Presador was still intent on calling the FBI.
Yeah, but you're too lazy, and I also know that.
In the midst of this, however, Jordy made a remarkably prophetic statement.
Because El Presto is one of the main instigators of my frustration. Like, generally, when I'm feeling bad, he's the person there to try to kick you when you're down.
Why don't you get that he's just a troll, and he says he's trolling you while he's doing it, and you still bite into it? You're feeding him, Wings. You're feeding the troll.
I understand that.
Then why don't you just stop?
Because it's not built into me to stop. It's not.
In the end, however, the drama was resolved.
Well, so, Wings, El Prestador, this is a breakthrough moment. El Prestador said, let's sweep it under the rug. What do you think, Wings?
That seems like a good idea to me. It seems like a lot of headaches avoided.
Bam.
There you go. Bad Kid Show.
Bam. And give me a pre-tackling video, man.
Even so, this moment deteriorated the relationships that he had with other content creators even further, as he was already known as a volatile personality. The rest of the stream was dedicated to discussing Jordy's mental state, where he reiterated his desire to stop working as an internet personality.
Okay, I hear like a sound of depression. Can we say that?
I'm not really depressed, though. I mean, as soon as I leave this room, I'm happy. As soon as I forget all of this, I'm happy. That's why I said beforehand when I was a little more upset that I know what I need to do. What I need to do is quit YouTube and move on with my life. But at the same time, this is the high point so far in my life. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be the only high point in my life. It's hard to walk away from having access to 50,000 people. It's hard to walk away from, basically being able to get advice at any time of the day, any day of the week. It's hard to walk away from, being somebody of importance to going back into a world where you're nobody.
Even after alienating so many other creators, his relationship with his friends on the Painkiller Already podcast remained consistent, but this would not last.
What a lot of people don't know is I kind of grew up without a father figure. I mean, for the most part, there were like guy figures in my life throughout my life. My mother was an attractive woman during her 20s and 30s and even 40s.
Over the next year, Jordy quietly continued to produce videos. The longer he continued, however, the fewer views he was receiving on his channel, but this didn't stop him from sharing a woman he had begun dating sometime in August of 2012, named Brandy, whom he had met on a dating website, just as he had Shalene. Compared to Shalene, however, she would feature much less prominently in his content. He also became much more susceptible to radical mood swings. In early 2013, Machinima released him from his contract, and he created a video discussing this, titled Rock Bottom.
I made a few decisions in my life that really crippled me when they dropped me. Because I had like a 3-year contract with Machinima. I signed one. And under the premise of me signing a 3-year contract, I bought things and made obligations that I normally otherwise would not have. So basically my channel's not doing very well. I've been going into the red for February, March, April, May, June, 5 months now. And when I got that week off, it kind of like kick-started a lazy bug in me. And when you start getting lazy, you start laying down, you start sleeping more, you start getting depressed, you start realizing how fat you are, and then being fat depresses you, and that makes you want to eat. When you eat, you feel depressed. It's just the constant cycle of being a failure. That on top of just the negative comments. People are always like, why do you point and just zero in those negative comments? And like, I just can't help it. I can't. I used to have the skin of an elephant. Back in Modern Warfare 2, maybe Black Ops 1, I could care fuck less what you said about me.
Soon after, however, he joined another company, Fullscreen Arcade, but he was making significantly less money from this contract. Around this same time, perhaps attempting to increase viewer retention and income, he began speaking more to YouTube drama, often eschewing the gameplay component of Call of Duty commentary so he could simply talk to the camera in a more normal vlog format. Throughout 2013, his channel would continue in much the same way that it had, trending towards sharing information about his life and speaking his mind on any number of topics, from YouTube drama to national news headlines to his thoughts on the existence of aliens. He would even have a friend record doctors draining a boil after he became infected with MRSA, a sort of drug-resistant staph infection, then upload it to his channel, including a close-up of the bacteria and pus oozing from his skin. Similarly, on Painkiller Already 149, he discussed a rather graphic and personal scene.
So one of the worst feelings I've ever had in my life. I mean, the only other feeling that I could even contemplate with that would be the time I was constipated and the turd went sideways on me.
Oh, fuck. Oh. 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 I think I just like passed an enema.
Like,
That doesn't even make sense.
let me tell the story. I had a really bad bout of constipation, and this was when I was on my diet in early 2011. I started doing Slim Fast to replace my lunches. One thing I didn't learn about Slim Fast is it dehydrates you really, really badly. Like, you have to drink a lot of water when you're on Slim Fast when you're replacing his meals, and I didn't do that. So I got dehydrated really bad. I'm talking about 3 or 4 turds deep. Like, it just hurt to walk. So I feared pooping for about a week. So what I did is I ended up going to get a saline enema. And I had my grandma give me a saline enema. And it softened it up enough to pass, but it only got a little bit. So, like, it softened like the first 3/4 of a turd. I get on the toilet, and a saline enema, like, stimulates the muscles to actually make it come out. So I do it, it goes, and then that little piece, probably about this big, hits it, and turns like that, and it spreads my butthole wide open. I fall off the toilet, and I hit my head onto the wall, and I call out for my grandma. I'm like, you might have to take me to the hospital. But what we ended up doing is she ended up sticking her finger up my button and mashing the turd up.
And actually, I'll tell you what, let's just get to the end of the story.
Now, I know how to ask a question, guys.
But midway through that year, this pattern would see a remarkable short-term change. While recording the Painkiller Already podcast, FPS Kyle proposed a way to help Jordy finally lose weight.
And we'll see about that. That doesn't involve, sticking, fingers up your butt in a little bit of while. So, I'm just going to take another little quick break, and then we'll continue. Already halfway into this, man. Wow, just the time flew by. And now we are back for part 3. Good times.
One episode, I threw this at Wings because, he was bemoaning his
station in life.
Sure. And I said, look, man, come to my house. We'll do a fucking month-long boot camp. We'll get the fans behind it. We'll do a Kickstarter to get you, like, fitness gear.
Oh, yeah, just so that everyone's up to speed, Cal here was going to offer Wings of Redemption some points to improve his life by getting him on a fitness regime. Seems like a really good idea if you ask me, and don't ask me as to where on earth Wings is right now, because he isn't on the Painkiller podcast.
Supplies, we'll film the entire thing. We'll make posters. We'll make coffee mugs. We'll get like a big viewership. Not only will this revive your body, it'll revive your YouTube channel. This will be amazing. Come to my house. I'll take a month out of my schedule. I will devote it to you. We'll do this thing together. It'll be fun. I sort of half-heartedly meant it. I didn't really expect him to ever say yes, because of all the things that we told you so far. He doesn't get out of his bubble too much. And then the man said yes.
What's more, these videos would be hosted on Jordy's channel, where he could collect the advertising revenue. With the plan in place, Kyle prepared for Jordy to move in.
And so that night I was taking a shower in my shower after the show, and I was washing my hair, and I bumped my elbow on the shower wall, and I was like, God, the shower is a little narrow. And then it occurred to me, Wings of Redemption could not fit into my shower. And if he was going to live with me, we would have to put in a new shower. So construction began the next day on a $5,000 shower. we tore out.
Jordy arrived at Kyle's house on October 13th, 2013. In the video updating people on his arrival, he was visibly nervous, bouncing his leg and fidgeting as he spoke. This wasn't...
I relate to that. I do that all the time. I am not even trying to exaggerate. That happens. It's happening right now, and I'm not even going to try and show you guys, but Yeah, I get this.
Surprising, he was a self-admitted homebody, preferring to stay in his mother's mobile home with his grandmother.
It's a really big change in life, and it's a change that kind of makes you feel better about yourself.
On October 31st, the first video was uploaded, with the series titled FPS Boot Camp in all capital letters. The beginning showed Jordy squirming across the floor and pulling himself with a rope.
He is allowed to use his legs. As long as he's moving weight, it's a good thing. Pull.
What became immediately clear, however, was that FPS Kyle had no experience as a personal trainer, and he was using his common knowledge to construct routines for Jordy. At the end of the first day, Jordy filmed himself in the new bathtub that Kyle had installed for him, and somberly reminisced about when he was stronger and lighter.
I was kind of disappointed in myself how I wasn't as strong as I remember myself being. But I guess that's the way most things happen. Is you always feel like you were better at a certain point. Like I find myself remembering, thinking back to when I used to be like 330 pounds, and back then I thought I was really, really heavy, and like now I'd kill to be 330. Like, oh Lord, that's 110 pounds. You know, and that's exactly what it is at this point. It's 110 pounds, and there's really nothing you can, really nothing that you can do about it. But it's really cool. Like I feel really good that Kyle's helping me out here. I mean, he's being a really good friend doing this, and like
Despite his struggle, the new video performed well, receiving 50,000 views within the first...
Yeah, again, and just in case anybody was going to say anything, you know what? The intentions were really good. I actually believe they were doing this intentionally to help out. And I'm glad that, you know, it's making Jordy look quite humbled as a result of this. And you know what? I think he's beginning to realize that about what exactly people are doing for him, and I like that. That's actually really nice.
First 12 hours. The next day, he discussed more of his hardship with the routine. Apparently, he had also broken the bed that Kyle had let him use.
My microphone, I forgot my headset, the bed I ended up breaking on the first night. They had like a futon bed here, and I felt real bad about that. So,
Even so, his attitude was positive, buoyed by the high view count of the first episode of FPS Boot Camp. In order to help fund Jordy's stay with Kyle, a crowdfunding campaign was created on either November 1st or 2nd, asking for $2,500. According to the comments, this goal was doubled within 24 hours, and by the time the campaign ended, it had raised over $8,000. These videos continued, and ironically, the large amount of support Jordy was receiving was creating significant pressure on him to perform.
It's beyond belief how much support I've been getting through these videos, and like it motivates me. Like when I'm on there, in this video right here, you're seeing me make almost 3 minutes on the elliptical. The entire time I was on the elliptical, I thought about all the people sitting there rooting for me and how I can't fail, and like failing at this point would be letting everybody down, including myself, and I don't want to fail. And like I think this year might be the year where I can keep that promise to myself, where I don't want to be overweight on my birthday. I failed last year, but this year might be it. Being overweight might be a stage in my life, and not my entire life.
The FPS Bootcamp videos continued, with significant progress being made. Jordy's mood improved more and more as he continued, bolstered by his significant weight loss.
I'm shedding something like 2.5 to 4 pounds a day, depending on what I do that day and what I eat. And like, it's almost inhuman the way my body is burning fat right now.
What wasn't shown in these videos were Jordy's significant interpersonal and health problems, the latter likely brought on in part by Kyle's lack of knowledge as a nutritionist.
Living with him outside of the workout was one of the most horrible ordeals of my life. That month was one of the worst months of my life because Wings lives within his own bubble. He doesn't socialize, and so he doesn't curtail himself to social norms. Right away, myself, my roommate Kitty, and my girlfriend were in my kitchen, and the bathroom is visible from the kitchen. And we hear this noise of water flowing into more water. And we all look up ponderously, and the bathroom door is agape, and Wings is pissing. And we can see most of him. I couldn't see the penis, nor could he. But he was pissing. And we all and we were all just in shock. And finally my roommate Kitty yelled, "Close the goddamn door! You're pissing with the door open!" She's British, if you can't tell. And we all just bust out laughing. Like, can you believe that? He's like, "What? What's the big deal? You know, just taking a piss. It's not like I was shitting."
Strong point.
Shitting. When I put him on the FPS Kyle diet, which is a lot of salads and grilled chicken, basically, he didn't shit for a week. He didn't shit for so long. I called the only person who I truly know is a bit of a fitness expert, Joe Lozon, who's a UFC fighter, a man who is literally a fitness expert. He's a professional fighter, professional athlete, big name in the UFC. I'm like, he hasn't shat in 4 days, dude. He's like, what? He hasn't shat in 4 days. What do we do? He's like, well, if 3 or 4 more days go by, you know, it's gonna be a problem. It's already a problem. I think, I'm just picturing the meals that he's taken in. That's still inside him somewhere.
It'll come out like almost in like a 30-minute stint, a bit like a hot chocolate machine.
Where like he's
more stuffing down the musket barrel.
Yeah,
it's like he's overloaded. This, you know, I've seen what happens when you put the wrong ammunition into a gun. It explodes. Like what? Are we gonna blow this man's asshole out? That was occurring to me as I pondered over his constipation, and so we're getting him these chia seed drinks from the grocery store, which are supposed to aid in passing, you know, making you regular, making you poop. We're filling his diet with fiber. I believe there was like shredded wheat and chia seed drinks and all of this stuff. And finally, like 7 or 8 days in, I mean, I had to replace the toilet. Not because anything was wrong with it, but just out of principle after he left.
You knew what happened, didn't you?
I knew what had happened there. It was like...
2 weeks into the program, Jordy was beginning to feel discouraged after his weight had plateaued, and he approached Kyle wanting to return home. Kyle was only barely able to convince him to stay for the last 2 weeks. When Jordy arrived back at his mother's mobile home, he seemed ecstatic about the amount of weight he had lost. This inspired him to make a video of himself dropping weights roughly equivalent to the lost weight in order to show what he called the, quote, destructive power that I have taken off my body. Shortly afterwards, he hired a personal trainer named Drew using the extra money left over from the crowdfunding campaign, and he seemed relatively good-natured about it, laughing alongside Drew and poking fun at himself.
Because you put up some decent weight, considering we just got started, you haven't done this in a while. But the endurance there.
He doesn't want to embarrass me. I did 12 reps of 100, and then I went straight to 15 pounds, and I struggled.
However, he also mentioned that he had started struggling with his diet and had gone back to eating high-calorie foods.
And a lot of it's my appetite has slowly been coming back. When I was at Kyle's house, I was isolated. I had people pretty much feeding me. But now since I took over the diet, I've been slipping more and more and more. How are we going to fix this, Drew?
While it's uncertain when these bad habits resumed, this may have been in part because his girlfriend, Brandy, had broken up with him. But while he had taken action to improve his physical health, the health of his friendships had degraded significantly, and this would culminate in an event that would isolate him more than his reclusive lifestyle already had. In March of 2014, during the Painkiller Already podcast, Jordy, Woody, Kyle, and the newer fourth member, Lefty, discussed and considered going on what they called a survival trip, during which they would go out into the wilderness without food, water, or shelter, bringing only some survival implements such as flint and steel, a water purifier, and sleeping bags. Of the four, Woody, Kyle, and Jordy committed to going.
Me, myself, I've always wanted to try these skills out. it's not because I don't really have any of these skills. I have what you call book knowledge. Like, I know how to start a fire. I know how to, differentiate north from other directions. I've watched so many survival shows.
Their preparation was minimal, and Jordy uploaded videos of himself attempting to light a fire using a magnesium starter.
Damn.
They scheduled to leave approximately a month after they had seriously considered the idea in mid-April of 2014. However, Jordy's survival kit was scant, gathering only 2 knives, a walking stick, gloves, boots, and 2 fire starters. By the time he was supposed to leave, he had only expanded this kit with a can of bug repellent and a 3rd fire starter. The compass he bought was broken. Some viewers noticed in his preparation day video there was a bottle of soda in the car, suggesting that he had again been failing in his diet. At last, the day had come for them to go on their survival trip, but immediately, Jordy's compatriots began to sense a problem.
I'm driving in the night before, and I think to myself, hey, let me give old Wings a call, make sure we're all good to go here, because it's Wings. Call him up, say, hey man, get ready to do this thing. I'm driving in now, about 3 hours from the place. What are you up to? You could leave, if you left right now, you'd be here around 11, and you could share this motel room with me. I could get a room with 2 beds or something. He's like, I'm not going. What? What do you mean? I'm not coming. When were you going to tell me? I'm telling you right now. What the? So I call. I text Woody. I'm like, he's not fucking going. He's not fucking going. And so Woody gets on the phone with him. Woody tries to talk, and I'm thinking like Woody's going to talk him into this. I'm still driving with this idea. Woody will talk him into this. Woody's a great motivational speaker when he needs to be, and I'm sure Woody was filling him with
compilations of me telling Wings, like, if you want to be an extraordinary person, you have to do extraordinary things.
Be a winner, not a loser. Be a doer, not a don'ter.
Very Henry Rollins-esque, yeah.
Yeah, this sort of talk, and he just doesn't fucking come. He just doesn't fucking come. And it's now it's just me and Woody in the woods. Now it's just kind of weird.
It got gay.
It got gay. It's like I hope nobody.
On April 14th, he uploaded a video attempting to defend his decision, though his confidence in his defense was weak enough for him to disable likes and dislikes.
Obviously, I didn't go to the PKA survival trip today. And I've seen people tell me like, oh, why don't you go now? Go now. Do it. Dude, that's not an option. And the reason I didn't tell them ahead of time is mainly because I didn't want to basically start the trend up before and have them try to talk me out of it. Because I'd already made my mind up. I wasn't going to go. I didn't want to deal with it. You think I want to be this person? You think I wanted to make a decision where, it could be meaning the end of my channel or the end of friendships? Do you think I want to be like on the outs with Kyle and Woody? No, I don't. But the fact is, I got to the point emotionally where I was willing to risk my channel never rebounding. I was willing to risk my friendship with Kyle and Woody because I was afraid of this trip. And that right there should speak volumes.
Did he tell Kyle and Woody about this? Because maybe if he was just straight up... Because I don't know whether or not Kyle or Woody, they saw us that just like, he just dropped this bombshell at the very last moment because, I don't know, maybe he was unprepared or he just lacked the confidence about this, or whether or not it's just what Cal said earlier about Wings just being a little bit not great socially and all that, but I think Wings is just, I can see it in his face right there. He looks nervous. He looks scared as hell. Maybe it would be worth like asking him what his ideas about being an extraordinary person, what he expects, what he imagines them to be. Maybe that's what's wrong with him. Maybe it's just he needs to do stuff that's a little bit more realistic, like baby steps if he wants to get there. You don't just, imagine you go swimming for the very first time and you have your water bands on. You don't immediately expect to go jumping off a 40-foot tall diving board. That's just not how that happens.
Volumes, where I was at mentally.
The comments were almost universally derisive, criticizing him for his cowardice and for his numerous excuses. The next Painkiller Already podcast was filmed shortly after Woody and Kyle returned, and Jordy was conspicuously absent. In place of his avatar was a small tombstone, and for the most part, they avoided talking about him.
Yes, I suppose we should talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, so we've decided, it was a group decision, we decided that Wings of Redemption wasn't going to continue with us. You know, he's having a hard time, and he's made some decisions that we didn't feel were so friendly, so for the time being.
While the comments showed a strong dissatisfaction with the decision, the hosts were not swayed, and it became clear that they had no intention of inviting Jordy back for the foreseeable future. While Woody had refrained from speaking on the matter, Jordy's attitude on Twitter pushed him to discuss it in a video he released on May 30th, a month and a half after the trip, in which he seemed visibly hurt by what Jordy had said about him and Kyle.
The core of it is he says, like, these guys were, that the PKA crew were never friends to him, that we never called him, we didn't share, the money with him and things like that. And that frustrates me because it's a lie. And that's kind of why he's gone, because it was this constant backstabbing, this constant taking shots at him. Every time he fell into some sort of slump or got grumpy or whatever, he would lash out at all the people that were close to him. The truth is, like, if you follow Wings on Twitter, you know that sometimes he'll just go off about all his personal problems and put that on Twitter.
In fact, you know what? I've got an idea. Let's, I'll put this to the test right now. Let's see if that is actually true. Let me just check Twitter just very, very quickly. Professional eBeg. Okay, that's obviously a troll account. Burner Jordan Jordy. I think this is like. Oh no. Zero following, 360 followers, nothing on his Twitter, and joined March 2011. Is there anything else I'm meant to be looking for? Wings of... No, I think he just might have deleted it.
And I would be the guy that texted him or called him and tried to sort of work it out. I was the guy that held his Twitter account to sort of back off on that a little bit. When obviously Jesus he said that he was going to rape my daughter, rape my wife after he kicked my ass, and he called Colin retarded 100 times. And Wings donated money to that guy because he thought it would make him look good. Wings gave search engine optimization tips when people were attacking Colin. The list is long, man. Oh, remember Wings went on Keemstar's podcast and said that we never gave him any of the money from the show. Why would he say that? I have taken so much undeserved shit for stuff like that. And now if you follow him, he says he just lost a third of his income. Right. To say that we were never his friends is not fair. We would do so much for him. We tried to help him so often. I want the best for Wings. I really do. But I can't have him in my life anymore because he's been so terrible to me and my family. And has done nothing to ever make up for it. I mean, people make mistakes, but this is a guy who talks without thinking and has a policy of never apologizing. And when you combine that, you get a guy that just takes and takes and never gives. And either you get some help so that you can deal with this and compartmentalize the hate and push it to the side, or you reorganize your life so that you don't get this kind of hate anymore. Because what you have now, it's not working for you, man. You're spiraling down, and you need to be on your way up. That's where it is. But for my participation, I mean, I feel like I'm the lifeguard you've been trying to pull me under for 5 years, and after a while, the debt's paid.
As Jordy continued to upload videos, his viewership dwindled further. Attempting to buoy his view count, he utilized clickbait titles for his videos and would comment on national news and drama, even talking about an incident when Chris Chan pepper sprayed a GameStop employee. He would also upload videos of himself playing games besides competitive first-person shooters, but these would consistently underperform, with some of them never reaching more than 10,000 views. He struggled maintaining his workout routine and diet, halting and then restarting both multiple times. His personal trainer, Drew, would occasionally cameo to talk about Jordy's progress, his goals, and the workouts he was doing, but Jordy's attitude had turned dour.
You know, this week Brandy, I don't know if you guys remember Brandy, but Brandy was my last girlfriend. She basically went to a relationship with another guy, and it's like, man, that shit sucks, dude. As you can see my luck firsthand, like if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Jordan family motto.
By this point, Keemstar had turned Drama Alert from an occasional Twitter post to a full show, and on October 2nd, 2014, a post that Jordy made was featured.
I've played with the idea of waiting my money out and shooting myself in the head. I even bought a hollow point bullets to do it with.
As Jordy continued to struggle, he would occasionally post to his social media about thoughts of suicide, such as in a Facebook post on October 13th, 2014, that read in part, quote, "I don't joke around about stuff like that. I don't want to..."
There's very good reasons why you don't do that as well, Wings. I expect you to know why.
"To kill myself, and you don't kill yourself for attention, you do it to escape pain. Life was and still is a huge disappointment full of pain." Attached to the post was a picture of a package of bullets. Hoping to rebuild his career, he started a new podcast in February of 2015 titled The Podcast Show, which surprisingly featured White Boy 7th Street, one of those who had joined for Keemstar's stream a few years prior. However, as the months continued, this show would lose viewership as well, dipping from 40,000 views to 13,000 by August. This reflected an overall trend on his channel. That same month also saw his Let's Plays sometimes netting less than 3,000 views. All of this was in spite of his subscriber count of approximately 450,000, which had decayed from 510,000. Even his videos which featured FPS gameplay would struggle to pass 15,000 views, while others would never reach it. By this point, it was clear that Jordy would not be rejoining the regular Painkiller Already hosts, though he would still be invited occasionally for uneventful discussion. As he lost motivation, he would both upload and...
See that as well, Woody just immediately walked off stage. He wasn't joking. I didn't think he was joking, but that speaks volumes about the actions that Wings had done. And all people were trying to do was to help him. And he does this.
Stream less, continuing into 2016.
Because around January 2013, I stopped trying as hard. I was worn out. I was posting 3 videos a day. I was doing the most I could, and my entire life revolved around numbers. What killed my channel was me. I pretty much killed my channel because I allowed myself to become so obsessed with money that I never took time out to enjoy myself, and it molded me into a person that I didn't like.
Attempting to explain himself, he released a video on August 26th, 2016 called "I'm Going to the Doctor."
So, you might be asking me like, well, Jordy, what are you up to lately? You don't really do YouTube that often. You know, you stream rarely. The last couple of years I've developed this thing called anxiety. And I never used to have it, but now it hits me in waves.
As 2017 came, his uploads continued to dwindle along with his viewership, and this coincided with an increase in his weight again. Where he had once been approximately 380 pounds, he now was approximately 470 pounds, and he was beginning to complain about his back pain more. He had been discussing bariatric surgery as a method to reduce his weight for many years, but as his weight continued to increase, this surgery grew more and more appealing, and he soon began to see it as the only way to improve his life, believing that he could not have any job besides making gaming content at his current weight. What's more, another aspect of his financial situation was slowly coming to be known. For some time, Jordy had been paying for his mother's mortgage on the modular home. She had promised Jordy that once he was finished paying it for her, she would give it to him. He had even boasted that he had made the last payment on the mortgage in a video on October 23rd, 2014. But at some point, once the mortgage was paid off, she went back on her word, and instead of giving the house over to Jordy, she took out a second mortgage and promised Jordy that this time, once he had paid off the new mortgage, he would receive the house, and so he continued to pay. Despite these payments, his credit rating was still incredibly low because instead of paying them directly, he was transferring money into his mother's bank account every month. Recognizing that his YouTube channel was likely not worth pursuing much longer, he changed his focus to Twitch, choosing to rely on live streams more than videos. According to himself, in 2016, he would average anywhere between 250 to 400 viewers at a time. However, he quickly gained a reputation for being aggressive and volatile, both towards those with whom he was playing and his own viewers, banning people for minor infractions or saying things he disagreed with. One person from Reddit noted in 2017 that, quote, "When I left YouTube, he said he was going to lose weight, but he is fatter than ever. Not only that, but he is meaner than ever. He talks to his viewers like shit. One guy genuinely offered to teach him how to properly play Rainbow Six, which Wings was struggling at, and Wings told him, 'If you keep backseat gaming, I'm gonna fucking block you.' Then he told a 36-month subscriber that he hopes their parents die in a car wreck because the kid beat him in a 1v1. Keep in mind, this is a 30-year-old man."
I'm just trolling you, chill. It's not like
Whatever. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck.
What?
On top of this, he seems very depressed now. He spends every stream just constantly bitching about how he doesn't get enough viewers to support his fat, lazy, degenerate lifestyle. It makes me feel unwanted as a fan. He also complains and gets very angry literally every time he dies. I've never heard Wings admit he got outplayed. It's always outside forces that cause him to die in game, whether it be lag, OP weapons, bad teammates, etc. It's literally never his fault. I even saw him throw a controller at his TV out of anger. Also, his shirt was dirty. It looked like he hadn't showered in 3 days and he was greasy. I really hope he can find it within himself to get his life together.
Yeah, in spite of all the things Wins said, he's still willing to say that, you know what, I hope he somehow gets better, but you don't get better. You have to freaking teach him, and you have to, like, I don't know, he freaking needs his, like, he needs his arse smacked to literally, you know, teach some, you know, common civility. And 30 years old, this is like Chris Chan if he didn't have autism and he was just a sociopathic and narcissist who played video games.
He also said that he had a gun in his hand, was considering killing himself because he wasn't getting the Twitch.
Yeah, now he's just using it to blackmail people. That's what he's using suicide for.
Viewers he feels he deserves, and if he can't make a living off of video games, then he doesn't want to live. He legit said that shit. But soon, due to a quirk of YouTube's algorithm, he would again attract attention and viewership of an entirely different kind.
Joke's on them. If they join one more time, I'm going back online.
Is this live stream fails? I think this might be live stream fails.
And I'm stacking a team up.
On November 16th, 2017, a YouTube user going by Sean Ranklin posted a video titled, "Wings of Redemption gets stream sniped and loses it." Up to this point, people had learned that they could annoy Jordy by joining his games and harassing him, much to the amusement of many of those watching. During one stream, he was apparently having difficulty controlling his temper, reacting more strongly than usual, and Sean Ranklin created a compilation showcasing this.
Come the fuck on, man! Real talk! Dude, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a little kid. Webby, fucking leave, dude! Like, if somebody could give me, like, their information, like their name, their address, the number, how I can get in contact with these guys, I would really like to know, because, like, I'm seriously considering suing them. No, they're joining through recent players. Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not fucking stop it. So stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about. I'm banning anybody trying to give me advice.
Advice. Okay, you know what? Since I'm probably going to get banned as well, I'll just say this. Acting like this is not going to stop your Wings. You should be able to have realized that now. Because of what you're doing, it's not going to get people to stop.
Real talk. Alright guys, I give up. I don't know when I'll stream again. I really need to make this fucking money. I really wanted to get this fucking surgery, man. I've wanted it so fucking bad. I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man. All I wanted to do was, like, I was fucking lonely. I wanted to just fucking stream and have a good time, maybe have a good game. I hate my life. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
This video quickly went viral, and as of today, it has 1.4 million views. With the success of this first video, Sean would continue creating highlight videos of Jordy's streams, focusing on perceived faults in his character. The success of Sean Ranklin's channel encouraged similar compilation channels, and over the months, more and more would appear, combing through his streams to find moments that they found particularly egregious or of entertainment value. References to these videos would begin to populate his stream chat, especially memorable phrases from Sean's first upload, such as "look here, look, listen," and variations on "ban anyone who tries to give me advice." He would audibly order his mods to ban anyone who used certain terms or said certain things, but these bans were easily circumvented with new accounts.
Look at that bullshit, dude. Fuck! I put so many hours into Rainbow Six, and all I've done is lose viewers. I lost 5 subscribers while playing Rainbow Six. 5. I was struggling to keep 150 views. I'm almost at 300 on a game I fucking hate. It's a game I fucking hate, dude. I detest this game. This game makes me hate fucking life.
You know, I don't even think people spamming TTS donations would even help out. Because he will absolutely go crazy and break another controller and have to fork out more money. He must be going through a frigging lot of controllers. And also, I know he's sort of like moved this poster here to cover up the dent he made in the wall. Do you reckon that's covered by the insurance for the mortgage or whatever that is?
It really does. And motherfuckers that come in here just to watch this shit, I hate you too. I literally do. I wish you just wouldn't show up so I didn't have to play this shit. So, like, it would just fail like Rainbow Six.
With pressure now coming from viewers looking to antagonize him, Jordy continued to lean more and more heavily onto the idea that some form of bariatric surgery would improve and even fix his life. On December 2nd, 2017, he posted a video to his channel to solicit opinions from his viewership. He noted that he was considering multiple kinds of surgery, but more importantly, he had yet to decide where he would receive it. If he chose America, it would cost in excess of $25,000, but if he went to the Mexico Bariatric Center, the total cost would be closer to $6,000, and since his income had decreased significantly over the years, the latter was proving the more favorable.
Like, this surgery scares me to shit. But, like, I'm at a point in my life where it's like I'm 31. I got nothing going for me other than, like, a Twitch and YouTube channel. And, like, I'm chronically unhappy with my entire life. And, like, I hate video games. Like, there's no joy left in them. Like, I do them. I've been doing them. I've had to play them for, like, 10 hours a day for 10 years. This is $3,995. I have that money now. I literally have that money now. Part of me gets excited thinking about it, that by the summer of next year, I might not be a fat dude anymore. If I go this route, I could pursue things outside the house that I normally wouldn't do. I'd have better energy. I wouldn't be a slave to food. I wouldn't be a prisoner of my own body anymore. I might be able to find a loving relationship that will last, and not people that will give up on me because I can't be as mobile or as active as a boyfriend needs to be.
Even so, the failure rate of the Mexican doctor was significantly higher than that of the American doctor. Soon, he began soliciting donations for the surgery during his streams in the event he chose to get it in America. As he floundered on which doctor to visit, the most dedicated among the new group of detractors would congregate in servers hosted on Discord with names such as Whale Watchers and Sean Ranklin fans, and soon, at least one had in excess of 1,000 members. What was perhaps more remarkable was that when Jordy became aware of these Discord servers, he requested to join them so that he could have a discussion with their denizens, and many people eagerly obliged his request for conversation. It appears that this meeting took place in early 2018, recorded and uploaded by Wingstings in a video edited to highlight what they found to be the most interesting parts.
You wouldn't make videos that just trash me unmercifully. You guys have kept me up crying so many nights. People said, videos being made, and the fact is, like, you're going to hurt my chances to get a job later on in life. Why do you feel the need to pick on me, though? Like, seriously, like,
Wings, I'll be brutally honest with you, right? The only reason that these channels exist is because you react.
Because I react, but I can't stop reacting. I'm never going to stop reacting. It's part of my personality.
Well, that's just how it's going to be then. He said if he's not willing to change even so much as slightly, then what is there that can be done?
The fact is, like, how am I supposed to move on if you guys keep creating things?
Ignore it.
You can't ignore it. You can't ignore it, dude.
You can ignore it. You can.
We're just fans, man.
Just take the videos down. Just delete the channels.
Can't take this shit no more, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're a fucking asshole. You're an asshole. You realize that? You're making fun of an honest reaction, dude. Like you in real life, I really do. I would beat your fucking teeth in. I would beat your fucking teeth in, dude. I really would.
Threaten, man. Come on.
You don't doubt that. What are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do? Put your bitch ass in the kneecap. That's what I'd do.
Oh,
I'd incapacitate you, and then I'd beat you with the fucking pistol grip until your teeth fell out your head. I hate you. Me so fucking much, dude. Like, literally. Like, I've done nothing to you guys. I've done literally zero to you. You're not helping me. You're motherfucker sitting online right now with, like, a picture of me with, like, tears on his face. You're sitting on a channel dedicated to me. Your whole YouTube channel is dedicated to me. You have a shrine of how much you worship me. All you do is...
In the end, little came of this meeting for Jordy besides further ridicule. But besides making new enemies, he would quite suddenly encounter an old one. During one of his live streams in early 2018, he noted, quote, "I don't like Keemstar. I want nothing to do with him. If I had my way and I could will it, I wish he would get in a car wreck. I literally do. He's the only person I can think of right now that I wish would literally die."
I'm dead serious. Like, if somebody deserved to die on this planet, Daniel King would be one of them. That's dead serious. Like, if you wanted to do Sharia...
I'm not the biggest fan of Keemstar either, but come on, why? That's just really, really childish at this point.
Sharia law Daniel Keem should be one of the first people to die and have his hands chopped off. He's a despicable person, and that is word to your mother truth right there.
Shortly afterward, Keemstar would upload a video voicing his displeasure upon learning of this comment.
I laughed my ass off. And Blade laughed his ass off, and Overflow laughed his ass off.
He doesn't look like he's been laughing. It looks like he's been crying.
And the more I thought about it, the laughter just turned into anger. I'm mad. Now, should I be mad? No. Wings is known for saying dumb, stupid shit and is never held accountable for his words. So, yeah, I shouldn't be mad, but I am. And the reason why I'm mad is because Wings said that I'm evil. I'm the most evil person that he's ever met. But then went on to say that I should die. He went on to say that I should die. You have 1 hour to agree with a fucking debate with me, or I'm taking this to Twitch staff, and they're going to decide whether or not it was a death threat or not. I'm not playing any games.
The two would confront each other once again in a live stream, during which they would attack and insult each other, enumerating how each of them had somehow wronged the other or had committed morally reprehensible actions over the years. But this time, where Jordy once had been in a position of power, he was now much weaker in terms of influence.
All that clip simply states is, I don't like who you are as a person. And in my personal experience, you're one of the worst people I've ever met. Like, on a moral standpoint.
So many times. I tried to help you so many times. I got you involved with the Billionaires Challenge thing.
How about after the Billionaires Challenge, where you and Blade decided to sit there and make fun of me and call me a retard, saying that you hope Wings continue.
Well, you know what, Jordy? If you didn't act like a retard... No, actually, you know what? That's really immature of me. Let me try it like this. If he didn't act like such a spiteful little man, maybe it would have been slightly different. Even if we're going to ignore the not going to apologize for anything.
Continues to make videos forever so you can laugh at me. What about that?
But that's the strongest thing you have going for you. I mean, Wings things...
What about the lie you just said just a while ago where you said you're wing tings? What about you're not wing tings?
And I'll tell you what, Wing Tings is entertaining. And you know why it's entertaining? Because it's all your fuck-ups. Like you crying and you being upset. That is the most entertaining thing about you. I'm sorry, Wings, but it is. It always has been.
And I'm trying to use that to better myself. I got this surgery. I'm gonna get the surgery done. I'm gonna shed one of my biggest catalysts in my entire life, hopefully. Hopefully I can find the strength to do that.
As these streams with Jordy tended to go, he began speaking about his own personal anxieties and struggles.
And I don't have, I'm not in the case where I'm just a dude that's 250 pounds, this didn't work out, let me fall back on my metallurgy fucking degree. Well, it's not a degree, but job, my metallurgy job. Right, I can't do that. I'm 450-pound land monster that has entrophied muscles. What the future for me, if I stop this at this point in time, is to go telemarket or work at some kind of call center, or cut movie tickets or something like that. Which is, that's a good living for a lot of people, but it's not what I want for me. Right, and
This is so boring. You're literally giving me the victim cards.
It is a very victim card kind of script, I must be honest.
Bad card
stuff. Whatever you want to call it, man. The fact is,
why don't you just stop being a victim? Why don't you just stop being a victim? All right, I'm sorry, I'm getting loud and angry.
I'm trying to stop being a victim. I'm trying to stop being a victim. Why do you think I'm working toward bettering myself?
I'm gonna give you real advice. This is real advice. All right. This is not Keemstar. This is Dan Keem talking to Jordy.
Mm-hmm.
You have been doing this for a very long time. And as you do this online internet stuff, what happens with your health and your happiness? Nothing. All right? The only way you are ever going to be happy, honestly, is by quitting the internet.
Around this time, Jordy seemed to have made up his mind about getting bariatric surgery, believing that it was the only way that he feasibly could lose weight. While he was still considering both America and Mexico as options, he learned that the American doctor would refuse to perform the operation unless he could reduce his weight to 400 pounds. While Jordy would sometimes share his weight, viewers were consistently dubious about his honesty, as he had a history of bending the truth. For example, in 2013, while recording a podcast, he had claimed that he had been shot in the leg after shouting at a man breaking into his mother's car, but he would later admit that this scenario was a fabrication. In this case, he claimed to be 460 pounds. He also revealed that he was prescribed a medication called Lexapro, an antidepressant used to control the effects of anxiety. But almost immediately after he stated his intentions, his life would undergo a sudden and violent interruption.
Which we will look at in just a few moments. Sorry about the constant pauses here, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't want to risk it at this point. So join us again for the finale of Wings of Redemption.
On March 6th, only 2 days after the video about his bariatric surgery, he uploaded a video entitled, "So, I Got Swatted," which shows his stream with an empty chair and the sounds of a SWAT team in the background.
Oh no.
At one point, a SWAT team member walks in front of the camera for a short time. During this video, they ask who might have called in the team, and Jordy can be overheard giving a particular compilation channel name. This came shortly after the high-profile case of Andrew Finch, who was killed in a swatting incident, and in light of this development, Wingstings deleted their channel, citing their discomfort with the troll community. Unsurprisingly for onlookers, Jordy was unable to lose the weight in the time frame he had set for himself, and so he committed to getting the surgery in Mexico, though the ponderous way he went about planning it made onlookers dubious about his resolve. In the meantime, new channels were appearing that copied Sean Ranklin's style of highlighting moments from Jordy's streams. What's remarkable about these highlights, however, is that they would not only highlight his moments of rage and frustration, but also genuinely humorous moments, creating a surprisingly broad view of Jordy. However, the comments would reveal...
Maybe it was just starting to mellow out, but also the serious point about getting swatted. Yeah, guys, don't do that. Yes, people may think that Wings isn't the greatest person in the world, but do you seriously think that's better? Do you think that makes you look clever or big? Like they mentioned, I know plenty of streamers who I watch frequently, like XQC, and did like Greek get swatted at one point, or was that not Tyler or somebody else? But I've seen that happen to a lot of good people, and it's not deserved, by no means.
Revealed the most prevalent reason for viewers to watch these videos, as did the donation messages, such as one that read, quote, "Can you call your grandma? I have a turd stuck up my ass and I need help getting it out." People would tease him with his verbal tics such as real talk, look here, and big ups, as well as frequently quoting Sean Ranklin's first video. They would also come up with numerous names for him. For example, upon discovering documentation that someone had at least once lived at Jordy's address by the name of Richard, people began to suspect that this was Jordy's legal first name. While this rumor proved untrue, calling Jordy Richard clearly upset him, and so people began calling him variations of it, with one common comment becoming, "Big ups, Liquid Richard." They also began teasing him for his love of Wendy's chili and microwaved banquet meals, which he would occasionally eat on stream. By this point, he had become openly vocal about the reason he continued to stream.
The only way I play this game is in hopes to get donations and subscriptions. Like that's the only reason I'm playing it.
In a somewhat surprising turn of events, the members of the Painkiller Already podcast began discussing Jordy as well, speculating whether or not he would receive the surgery for which he had pined for years. Most notably, on April 21st, the Painkiller Already podcast hosted content producer Mr. Medicare, and a significant portion of the episode was dedicated to Woody and Kyle describing Jordy and his numerous misadventures, told with a derisive and comedic zeal. Sean Ranklin, using a quote from Kyle, released a video on March 22, 2018, in which he describes a scene from one of Jordy's streams that he had seen highlighted from one of the compilation channels.
I was watching a stream clip the other day, and it was probably the darkest thing I'd ever seen in Wings' stream before. And he went and produced a photograph, a framed picture, and he was like, "This is me when I weighed, I want to say 240 pounds, and something happens. Something deep happened." He was just like a loss of hope. Like, there was a moment where he was like, "That's where I was, and this is where I am." It was a dark moment. But then he started eating his banquet meal, and that perked us right back up, because he chews like a dog, you know, just chomp, chomp, swallow, and that banquet meal's gone. And then when he was done with it, he starts scraping up all the gravy with the fork and like getting all the juices that were in the bottom of the plastic tray, and we're just like, this is not a diet.
Jordy continued to engage with the so-called troll discords as well, but with one important difference. He would stream at least some of these interactions on Twitch, such as one instance which Sean Ranklin uploaded onto their channel.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that's quite within Twitch's terms of service.
Immediately upon joining, people began teasing him with well-known quotes.
I'm only going to talk, and it's only going to be civilized. If you guys play clips like you're doing right now, if you try to be funny, if you try to do any meme shit, I leave instantly, and I stop talking.
While it's not certain precisely how many people joined, it quickly devolved into people talking over one another.
Yo, what's up?
Shout out to Sean Ranklin.
Wait a fucking week, dude.
Wait.
All right, one more time, one more meme, and I'm out. Just to let you guys know.
Despite his threats to leave, he found himself unable for some time.
I'm getting the fucking surgery, dude. I'm getting it.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, all right, I'm sure.
Okay.
You're Liquid Richard.
You can go. All right, I'm out. By the way, whoever just did that, I'm out. I'm getting.
Yeah, I want you to. I'm out. I'm looking here. I'm looking. Listen, all right.
You see, Wayne, you're too scared to face your own reality.
I'm getting the fucking surgery, dude. Here's the truth. Here's the truth about my life, right? I'm 460 pounds. I'm 460 pounds. My grandma can't take care of me the rest of her life, and she's I don't know how much longer she's gonna live. So like, if I don't get this surgery, there's nobody there for me in life. So if I get bedridden, guess what? I'm pretty much fucked. So I have to get the surgery. There is nothing to do with it. You see how you act, dude? Like, seriously.
You're a little kid. Shut the fuck up.
Little kid, you just went.
You guys hear me? All right, Jordy. We'll move on. All right, look here. Look, listen. Yeah.
I'm not fighting Keemstar. I'm not going on PK. Here's what I'm most likely going to do. I'm most likely just going to quit, and you're going to lose your toy.
Dang, you're going to quit.
You know why I won't? You know I haven't quit yet. Why don't I have the balls to quit? I have enough money to pay my house off and the surgery and do everything I need to do.
You fucking cry on stream for money. You don't have the balls.
I haven't cried on stream for money in a long time. Listen, shut up. Let me speak a fucking sentence without people interjecting.
This is gonna be on Twitter tomorrow.
It doesn't matter. Here's the thing. The only reason I let me talk. Mute them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Urban.
Look, even your own. That's ridiculous.
The Painkiller Already subreddit would also be used as a place for those interested in Jordy to congregate, occasionally criticizing him and pointing out inconsistencies in some of his claims. For example, on May 28th, someone with particular interest in him created a long Reddit post in which they detailed why they believed he had lied about scheduling his surgery in Mexico. Of note was the fact that this person had tested Jordy's honesty by applying for bariatric surgery at the same location. Where Jordy had claimed that it took some time to be scheduled, this person claimed that, in his experience, the clinic offered to schedule the surgery as soon as he paid the $500 deposit. Jordy would discuss this mounting scrutiny during his streams.
Not to mention, I'm scared to fucking death of the surgery. I'm scared of it. Who do I get to talk to about it? Nobody. Because if I talk about anything, on everything, there's a video made about it, and there's 20,000 people laughing at me, or there's a podcast with 100,000 viewers making fun of me, calling me a fucking idiot. What is there? It's like, seriously, what is there? What do I do this for a privilege for? Like, seriously, about a privilege to fucking sleep all goddamn day? play the same fucking games over and over and over again? To feel like shit, to realize nobody's ever gonna fucking love me? Like, what is the privilege that I fucking get? No, I don't got any friends.
You get the privilege that this was entirely on your shoulders, Wings. You made this decision. Nobody made this decision for you. That's the privilege you get.
Dude, I spend my entire life sitting in this fucking room.
By this point, he also had begun taking his Lexapro despite his initial reservations.
Like, I'm not off Lexapro. This is coming through Lexapro. Because I'm always stressed out. Like y'all motherfuckers give me so much anxiety. Anxiety meds aren't even working for me right now. I'm a fat dude. I'm going to cheat. It's going to happen. One of the reasons I'm getting the surgery is I'm trying to buy willpower. I'm trying to fuck myself up so badly that if I cheat, I'm going to vomit. And I'm going to throw up. And my body will reject food to the point that I have...
Unfortunately, I don't particularly think bulimia is technically genetic. I don't think there's ever been a genetic thing for bulimia. So I don't know exactly how Wings expects this to work. Unless he gets... Literally, he has bulimia. He becomes bulimic, let's say, every 30 minutes. But even then, that's seriously going to damage his health. I seriously would never, ever recommend becoming bulimic.
Force myself to learn a new way.
Soon after this stream, he would take to the Reddit thread and admit that the creator of the thread was correct. He had indeed not yet paid the deposit due to nervousness over the procedure. On June 16th, the members of the Painkiller Already podcast were discussing the likelihood of Jordy actually scheduling and receiving the surgery.
So, wing surgery is quickly approaching.
I may lose $5. I'm starting to think that he's telling the truth on this.
Yeah, get ready to dole that out. I would like it in doubloons.
I saw on the subreddit.
He breaks out the happy pills, and so I don't watch his streams very much, but the highlight videos, I swear.
Right, cheers. Just try not getting the shot next time, okay?
I haven't even subscribed to any of the highlight video channels, but because I watch them all, YouTube knows that I secretly want to, and keeps suggesting them from me. And yeah, he takes it, and he's just like, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
On June 28, 2018, Jordy posted pictures of himself in a hospital gown to his Twitter feed, and soon he was back in his mother's modular home. He had opted for a surgery called a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, in which approximately 90% of the stomach is removed. Almost immediately, he began to question his decision.
Like, I wanted my life to be so much different after the surgery, and it's not really. It's not. Like, I just text just like 20 minutes ago and canceled the plans I had for today because I'm going to have to stream again today to try to keep my subs up. And, you know, like, I'm stuck in the same routine again where it's like I'm fucking here. And, like, right now, like, I'm so sick of sitting in chairs. That's the reason I bought this chair today on a whim. Like, I'm so sick of, like, my body hurting for sitting in chairs because I'm so big. And, like, I want to lose weight faster than I'm losing weight right now. And I'm not doing everything I could be doing to help that alone. Like, I'm not...
He continued to stream, and in part due to his new antidepressants, he had stopped reacting with such explosive anger as he once had, though he still would often read troll donations aloud before realizing what they were, or simply out of exasperation. It's also possible that he recognized how much of his income was coming from these troll donations, and he wanted to encourage them to a certain degree.
Art of Redemption, draw me like one of your banquet meals, you sexy man. I want to get... Koomdon? Oh. How many months do you have left to you... I don't have HIV, man. Hey, Carbine PPSH. Wow, you're really fat. That's cool. Let's do the donation rundown. Trailer Park Redemption donated one. I can respect that one. What? The guy goes, I'd donate, but since I'm in Great Britain, it's in pounds, and you obviously don't need no more of those. Bob Gnarly. What's cool? I know you're a lazy fucking bum who doesn't want to work because I'm also foreign.
Why did Wings not think it would be a better idea to just enable the Brian TTS voice? That makes these far more funny, although maybe it's slightly something when you hear it from, you hear it from the horse's mouth itself.
6 pounds, yet I still work 60 hours a week doing manual labor. Get a job, you parasite.
However, while few developments were occurring post-surgery for Jordy, the community around him would begin experiencing significant upheavals, some of which were revealed publicly. In early 2019, a man named Joshua Moon, best known as Noel, the owner and operator of the Kiwi Farms, hosted a stream in which he discussed the history of Jordy. The most surprising part of his stream wasn't the section about Jordy himself, but rather the troll community that had built around him.
And my rabbit hole into this world started with asking a question. Who is Lean? And the answer I got to that question was... Ha 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 ha, lol, you mad bro, ha 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 ha, mad bro, mad, piss, pisses on shithead, piss, ha ha ha, piss, sis, lamau, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, lol, piss. And that, my friends, is the fucking moment I decided, holy shit, these people are fucking crazy. These people are fucking nuts. This is not just some random fucking faggot from their Discord. This is a trusted user. There's like 12 of these people. It's a Discord with like 1,000 motherfuckers, and this motherfucker is at the tippy top. He's up there in the upper echelons of the trolldom. This shit. When I was in there asking people about Lean, a couple days after I spoke to Lean, people are like, well, he started to monetize his videos. I'm like, oh, is that it? And they're like, no, he makes him look positive in his videos. Well, fucking goddamn, that sounds awful. Let's look at this. Let's look at one of these DS positive videos that Lean put out on Wings of Redemption.
It's fucking stupid. Like, all their fucking effort, they still couldn't stop me from going 40-10. After all their fucking effort, they still couldn't do it.
And this is what pisses them off. In his videos, if Wings of Redemption gets trolled the fuck out but still ends up 40-10 with a 4-1 KD, a very, very good score, he'll include it in his highlight clips. And that is verboten. It is not allowed. If he does well in the video game, you cut that shit out. You leave that on the clipping floor.
Soon after, he reveals that apparently, Lean claimed to a troll server that he had hired people to gather the personal information of everyone present in it. After trying to talk to the people in the troll server, Noel was banned, and the owners completely purged the chat logs of the entire channel in order to prevent Joshua from gathering information and taking screenshots of the conversation. But this wasn't the only piece of infighting that was occurring. Some months later, on July 3rd, the Wings of Redemption subreddit's Discord server was, quote, given a holy cleansing. One of the moderators of the subreddit wrote that, quote, the server has fallen down a manhole of noxious biohazard shit, and it all started with Road banning users for having different political opinions in favor of keeping user SodaSweet as a mod, who was a guy with children that was sending and receiving nudes from another user by the name of 3PM, who was another bloke that enjoyed cross-dressing and posing as a female. End quote. He went on to describe the arguments and fights that members would have there, specifically attacking the head admin on the server. As the troll community fought among itself, Jordy continued his habit of Twitch streaming, maintaining a view count between 300 and 700 consistently, with irregular donations, but so far, very little has changed. While he has visibly lost weight as a result of his surgery, he has stated that he is still over 300 pounds, much heavier than he should have been a year after his surgery. He continues to state that he wants to stop making gaming content online, but he can't convince himself to leave the reliable money, and so, he continues to read troll donations and ban accounts from his stream chat, only for the trolls to replace them with new accounts shortly afterward. Many speculate that Jordy may only stop streaming on Twitch when people stop donating money, but the amount he receives only seems to be increasing with time, as people pay to send him messages in order to harass him. Jordy Jordan now stands as an example of what happens when someone without the proper mental fortitude, flexibility, or attitude is suddenly given fame in a niche area, and when someone's poor social habits alienate them from any kind of support network, whether in the form of their contemporaries or their viewer base. He also shows what can happen to those who feel themselves incapable of making any sort of significant change in their lives, and the fates to which they may consign themselves.
Hello, Jordy.
Hello.
How are you? How did you do it?
I restarted Discord. I closed the tab and I reopened it.
Okay. My stream was all blaming me. They were calling me a boomer who didn't understand technology.
I did the basic.
There's a lot of names of the credits here, and there's quite a lot to still go on, so we'll just continue to play this to the end.
Stuff, you know, like if it doesn't work, just turn it on and off.
All right. So what's new, brother?
Nothing really new. I mean, like, I'm in this point in my life where nothing can be new because, like, people won't let me forget the past. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And it's like, that's just where it is. So I live my life perpetually answering the same 6 questions.
Wait. Hold on. Are you ever going to go back on PKA?
1, yes.
How much do you weigh?
Yep.
How's Brandy? Have I hit any? How am I doing so far?
You're 3 for 3 so far.
Okay. PKA, how's Brandy? What do you weigh? What would you do for a Ford Raptor? They're getting harder.
No, that's not one of them.
Okay. Something about the Mustang, maybe?
That's vague. We'll take it, though.
Will you play Call of Duty?
Yep. And...
You helped me out with the last one.
Are you going to play Rainbow today?
Okay. Yeah, you're building a Rainbow following, then.
Yeah, Rainbow's actually my biggest drawer, other than, like, just chatting. Like, just chatting's my biggest drawer. But, like, there's only so much you can do with just talking to the same people and answering the same 6 questions. Because, like, I've been streaming for, what, like, an hour now? And I've answered, what does it feel like to ride in a Mustang that has a full of shit at one point? Has your Mustang's suspension sagged? I've been asked that one 4 times already. And I've already explained to them that... You know, that's not how cars are designed. Cars are designed to hold a certain amount of weight between the axles, and the weight that they can hold between the axles exceeds what a normal human can expand themselves to usually.
It's meant to hold 4 people.
Yeah, it's meant to hold 4 people.
Yeah, it's gonna hold you fine. It's not a dude. The V8 Mustang. I've only seen highlights of you talking about, but that's a thing that you want to make happen.
You know what? That's a nice end to the video. They made up. I guess what I'm looking at right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just get this to full screen.
Let's check the old messenger. We had... Oh, nothing. Okay. Let's see. Supreme Uzi Jerry? What kind of fucking name is that? Pat Day left. The Supreme Uzi.
That was actually Wings right now, and he's been live now, and he's been playing a few games, and that was the story of Wings of Redemption. Now, there's a few things I do want to add that I didn't get the chance to add earlier in the video, so I may as well let you guys know what I want to say now before it's too late. Like earlier on, when we saw before Wings went on this makeshift sort of like health camp, would it not be possible for, let's say, Wings to literally stop stuffing his face with banquet food, instead buy, fresh fruit, invest in, brown bread, fresh water and stuff like that, as opposed to stuffing his face with complete junk food? Well, you know what? Yes, it would. It would be a lot simpler for doing it. But the point is that Geordie, let alone anyone else virtually unemployed at this point, would ever do such a thing like that. Because, and here is exactly why, and this is a point that people seem to relatively miss about people who are unemployed or otherwise self-employed or whatever it might be, is that the less money you have, the less you're actually inclined to spend it on wholesome food. And here is exactly why. When you're unemployed, which means to say that you're out of work, tired, harassed, bored, and miserable, and a lot of these things fit Geordie's description almost too well, for too close to comfort. You don't want to eat dull, wholesome food. You want something that has a little bit more taste in it. I mean, true, chips, chicken with collard greens, fried chicken, lamb that is dripping in gravy isn't technically going to, nourish you to any real extent, but it's the fact that they are quote-unquote nicer, well, then many people would say than, crusts of brown bread. And in the long run, from where I've seen the prices of fruit and vegetables and such, it would be far simpler and far easier to just buy your junk food literally on bulk for, let's say, $1, than to spend anything remotely close more than that on wholesome foods. Because just to take the UK for example, we have things called Poundlands. They are virtually just pretty much dollar stores as you would have in the US. They're not exactly. I'd imagine they don't have there's any one specific name in the US, but the point is that, well, maybe 99-cent stores and stuff like that. It's that everything in Poundland costs £1 whole pound. And you can get cheap nourishments of just about any kind. Sausage rolls, Scotch eggs, cans of soda. You can get literally that sort of stuff, chocolate, crisps, such in bulk. And not once will you see anything remotely like apples, fruits, anything remotely nourishing, to be honest. To be honest, I think the most nourishing thing inside any Poundland is the bottled water. I wouldn't even be surprised if it didn't contain some kind of sugar in that. And a lot of that can be attributed to exactly what we saw throughout Wings, is that what he was actually doing is that his quote-unquote comfort eating was making him more and more sick. It was making the problem worse. And that's the sad truth, is that comfort eating is going to, it provides you but it's a bit like energy. It gives you comfort in very, very small bursts. It is not a long-term solution. The long-term solution in terms of comfort eating is eating and eating and eating and eating, literally like that for not only days, not even for weeks, but for not even for months, but years, if not decades. It's a way of life that has to be squashed out. And the only way you can squash it out is changing your outlook, changing your behavior to believing that you can be someone different from what the rest of the world is perceiving to be. Because I reckon a lot of the things that could be solved very early on in Wings' life, and you heard me saying that, some things like these are completely avoidable if you do this, that, and the other. But I can guarantee 90% of the problems are from what happened as a result of Wings' weight. And even down to the fact that he doesn't apologize or say that he was ever wrong in the first place. And here's why I have evidence to show that. Because what if this guy went through bullying through childhood, through secondary, through elementary school, through high school? He said in the opening that he did not, about the halfway point, that he didn't have a father figure. I don't think he was just saying that just to gain a reaction. I think he was being genuine about that, because you know what? Anyone close to a father figure would have made him, feel better about himself. Growing up without a dad, and what happens if people were teasing? I know people when I was in secondary school who were tormented because they were adopted and because their real parents, not just dads, were deadbeats, people who are quote-unquote suicidal. I can tell you some appalling amounts of bullying people got through that. And you know what? I don't doubt, and I don't know whether or not Wings has ever discussed that before, but you know what? I don't know what would happen I don't know if I was ever to ask him or what on earth we would say about that, because you know what? I don't really want to say it because it seems like I'm invading in his privacy or anything like that. Because I can imagine, because I've been there myself, where I would get bullied or I would get harassed, and I thought like people were giving me a hard time, so I thought they're being mean to me, so why can't I be mad to the rest of the world? Them lot, like, to them, it seems like the world shat out these people just to make their lives miserable. When that's technically not true. And as a result, it gave Wings like such a low level of self-esteem that the only thing he could do was to literally, and I've been there myself, no word of a lie, it's been well over 8 years since this cycle for me happened. I started absolutely like crazy. You would not believe, like, between when I was like 14, 13, the difference I was absolutely unbelievable. You would not think I was the same person 8 years ago. The point I'm trying to make about that is that it's just, and then he would get involved in video games, and as some people know, especially because I don't know whether or not like he ever played any online games long before this, but he was so angry because, you know, he would get this harassment of people just making fun of him, and who knows, like, this could have developed so many reactions out of him that he just realized, you know what, what's the point in catering to these people? They're trying to make me the person I'm not. I'm trying to just present myself as I was. But unfortunately, as you just saw there, now that he was gaining probably attention, maybe praise, a lot of money for the first time in maybe his life, he had absolutely no idea that people would try to take advantage of him or try to, you know, pop his balloon. So, some people say it's ego. Maybe he never had this before in his life and he was just doing his thing, doing his normal thing. The problem is that, well, as you saw there, and just like a classic case of hubris, he thought he was so big that he could literally like make or break people by just saying what they could and could not be. Which, that's going to change matters entirely. Many people would straight up say that he grew out of the person he hated and he became a new person that he hated. But he would never bring himself to say it because he was too proud of what he had actually accomplished to try and stop. And as a result, maybe the cycle just started all up again. And he was so used to this routine that he couldn't imagine anything different. Maybe possibly to solve the problems once and for all that he was irresponsible for, but maybe he just didn't see it like that. Now, with that being said, it looked as if, like, very near the end, he seemed to have developed a better state of mind and tried to patch things up with Woody. And you know what? It's baby steps, but one step at a time. You know what? I said earlier that it was like the story of Chris Chan, except, you know what? The difference is I'm going to conclude this video by saying this. Wings is not like Chris Chan. Because unlike Chris Chan, Wings has tried far more, and people respect him for this. I respect him for trying to learn from his mistakes. All Chris has ever done, and will continue to do, is make the same mistakes over and over and over again, never in consequence seem to learn anything from experience. I think actually, you know what? I think Wings might possibly, even if he watches the video itself, I think he will look back on a lot of these events and realize that, you know what? That was then, this is now. I have the chance to start again. Good luck to Wings. I actually hope he does well now, because you know what? I reckon if I I reckon he's actually a nice guy. I reckon if I talk to him literally in the next 30 minutes, we would actually get along quite well. I reckon we've got more in common than anyone would rightly say. But you know what? I'll try. And you know what? If I try, maybe Wings will try too. Maybe there will be a part 2 to this video somewhere in the future. Maybe this will be literally the redemption arc we've all been craving. So anyway, this concludes, and I'm going to look into this, whether or not you can call this the single longest reaction video in history. It probably may be not quite like that, but I'm going to just make sure to look into it, because I'm going to do it, guys. If you're watching this and you know what RageCon is all about, I'm going to freaking break a world record for the longest reaction video in history. Just you wait and see, guys. Just you wait. So I hope all of you guys have enjoyed Wings of Redemption, courtesy of Down the Rabbit Hole. Please make sure to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Wings for Yourself by Frederick Lurkson, who runs Down the Rabbit Hole. Please also make sure to also like and subscribe to get daily notifications when my videos come out. Coming to you live with a completely smooth face. And I hope to see you guys again in the next reaction video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.